One of the fastest growing economies in the world, the Indian economy is growing at the rate of over 7% per annum since the last 2 decades. India is the fourth largest manufacturer of medicines in the world, having more than 20,000 pharmaceutical companies. Manufacturing facilities in India are being constantly upgraded to meet or even exceed the standards of the regulated market. Indian pharma machine manufacturers are matching and even surpassing the international standard quality at a very competitive price. There are many pharma machinery manufacturers from India exporting their machines to over 90 countries spread across 5 continents. IPMA was founded on 23 December 2001 and registered as the only trade association representing the most innovative and capable pharma machinery manufacturers from India. With its current strength of 300 plus members, with around 25,000 plus people serving the industry and generating estimated revenue of 1.5 billion US dollars. That includes processing, packaging, R&D, utility equipment and other ancillary products. IPMA was founded to offer encouragement and recognition to small and medium-scale machinery and equipment manufacturers, to get recognition by national and international associations related to pharmaceutical industry, to get recognition by the local agency in the Central Ministry in New Delhi, to ensure fair business practices in the pharmaceutical manufacturing industry, to encourage unity and provide mutual help within the members. IPMA has strategic partnerships with various trade bodies to help non-exporting members to find business inroads to foreign market by communicating and networking with its members and the pharma community. IPMA launched its official magazine sharing important industry information, compliances and policies and provide information on latest technological trends. IPMA organizes annual exhibition Pharma Pro and Pack Expo to provide its members a platform to connect with domestic and international markets. This exhibition is promoted through various roadshows and technology seminars. IPMA also organizes informative seminars throughout the country, such as GST seminars and international seminars in associations with BAPI and with associations of pharmaceuticals of Nepal, to name a few. IPMA has been actively participating in government initiatives promoted to work with society at large. IPMA also supports initiatives like Swachh Bharat Abhiyan and Make in India launched by the Government of India. IPMA recognizes the contributions of their members to the pharma industry and felicitates them, who have served the industry over 50 years. IPMA continues to jointly work and collaborate with reputed trade bodies and associations globally. IPMA is planning to work more progressively with various international exhibitions as partners and is already working with various globally reputed exhibitors. IPMA is committed to bringing industry members together for achieving greater heights and make India proud at the global level.
Thank you, Rajkumar. Now, on behalf of EEPC India and IPMMA, I welcome all participants and panelists for this seminar, which is basically on exim policy, how to avail the benefits which is in our policy. So how you can make the best use of our exim policy for the international market. there are certain incentives which are available for the exporters. So how we can claim that export incentives? What is the method? If there are 2 3 incentives are available, choice is ours, which should be our choice. So basically on this topic, EPC joining hand with the IPMA, or rather IPMA joining hand with the EPC, so both are joining hands for this first maiden seminar. This is our first seminar, and we have to go a long way. इस तरह के seminar we will keep on doing based on the feedback, whatever you will give. Abhi, आज today we have a very eminent speaker, Dr. Rajat Srivastav, who has tremendous knowledge of international market. We have a Mr. Sanjay Agarwal, who has a in-depth knowledge of policy and incentives. So, but this is a very introductory seminar. When you will interact, when you will see that every topic required at least half day for any topic. Now we request those who are interested, those who are want to do a particular elaborative seminar on a particular subject, they can put their suggestion in a chat box. So based on the feedback, we will plan further seminars. If you want webinar, if you want hybrid, or if you want physical, our EPC is ready to extend all possible help for organizing in Ahmedabad, Mumbai, wherever is participants are interested. With these words, I request Mr. Samir Vijayji, I invite them to just extend vote of thanks to the present gathering. Thank you. Samirji.
Thank you, Mr. Malhotra, but it will be too early to give vote of thanks.
Sorry. Welcome address. Sorry. Welcome address.
I will leave that work for my fellow colleague from IPMMA. But nevertheless, it's really a pleasure to be here amongst all of you and stalwarts and the policymakers and implementers for promoting export. On behalf of IPMMA, it gives me immense pleasure to be here and to welcome each one of you. It is really difficult to compress over 2 decades of knowledge and the profile of Dr. Rajat Srivastav, Shri Rakesh Suraj, or Shri Sanjay Beswal. But because of the protocol, I must complete this duty. We have our first speaker, Rakesh Suraj, who is a director, headquartered based operating from New Delhi as a regional director for the EEPC. He will be joining as a first speaker today, having immense knowledge in terms of policy, framework, organizing seminars, ensuring and spearheading various programs overseas, and his prior experience with ASSOCHAM makes him most important person in today's webinar, where we'll be covering supply chain, new product, new markets, technical upgrading, as well as the incentives. Our second speaker in this webinar is Dr. Rajat Srivastav, who is based out of Mumbai, regional director for the EEPC. I don't think there is any continent which he has left. His vast 2 decades plus experience gives him immense exposure to practically every continent on this globe. He is an MBA. He's done his post-graduation from New Delhi, and also he is a PhD doctorate. Needless to say, because of his contribution, special recognition was conferred to Dr. Rajat Srivastav by none other than Chief Minister of New Delhi. I think he's been a member of many committees, those who have been driving or those who have been making decision in favor of incentives, policy, be it related to licenses or export and import. Our third speaker is going to be Shri Sanjay Beswal, who heads his own consulting firm dealing with exports having more than 2 decades of experience. He is also based out of New Delhi, a postgraduate from and graduate from New Delhi International Trade Fair and Foreign Trade. Incidentally, he also shares with me a common bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering from Delhi, plus his post-graduation from Delhi School of Economics. I understand from his profile that his various exposure to trade policy creation, as well as working very closely with these large organizations under the Ministry of Commerce, makes him the most appropriate speaker for today. With those few words, I hand over to Shri Malhotra, who's going to be doing a most important work as a moderator today. Thank you very much. Over to you, Mr. Malhotra.
Thank you, Sameerji. You have given a nice introduction of all the speakers. So my job is now not lesser. So I will not waste time on introduction. So since our Delhi Regional Director, Mr. Suraj has not joined so far. So now I request Rajesh Srivastava ji to hold the fort. Mr. Rajesh Srivastava, you told everything about he is a regional director and director marketing of EEPC. He has a vast experience of marketing, market and marketings of engineering goods. So only one thing I could see, he has been selected for a scholarship by a US government for International Visitor Leadership Program in USA, which is a very prestigious program. India represented by Dr. Rajesh Srivastava. This is an honor for us. He is amidst us. So I request, I take the opportunity to.
Thank you, Mr. Malhotra. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mehta, Mr. Sameer Limai, Mr. D'Souza, Mr. Shukla, Mr. Panchal, Mr. Sanjay Beswal, and our dear Mr. Malhotra. Malhotra, you retired from EEPC, so we are missing you. I hope you do the same job well in IPMA, so that they also get the benefit.
Yes.
So thanks for inviting me. I think Suraj is in Agra. That's okay. He's addressing another session. Friends, I would like to start with the with a note that pharma machinery is one area which I think India needs to penetrate into other markets. From my knowledge, pharma machinery is going to 121 countries presently. There are 202 countries in the world, and you need another 80 countries to catch up. So how do we do it is a $1 million question, and how do we penetrate into new market rather than visiting and plowing the same field again and again? Let us go and find a new field and grow a new crop. That's very important. So I like to start my presentation. I hope I can consume the time that was allotted to Mr. Rakesh Suraj.
Yeah.
I have some information to share, and I think it would be beneficial for the members to go through the presentation. I'll just share my screen. If anybody else is sharing, they can close it down. Is it visible?
Not yet.
No,
Not visible.
Not yet.
Is it visible now?
yes.
Yes.
So today I would like to see, my talk will be both a technical as well as a motivational one, because Motivation is also required for the exporters to go into virgin markets and export. The topic is recalibrating supply chain. And why we have to recalibrate supply chain? Because world is passing through a lot of changes. We had COVID of 2.5 years. We have war for 2 months. We don't know how long the war will continue. So this has disrupted the supply chain. And even India's supply chain got disrupted. Items which were coming from China got, we had sanctions on them, custom duty raised, so they're not entering anymore. And also the world changed its view vis-a-vis China post-COVID. So the entire supply chain needs to be recalibrated, and how our Indian, manufacturers can utilize this opportunity. Friends, just to give you an example, I think India is going to buy $3 million worth of oil from Russia. Now they are going to be in Indian rupees, which means Russia is going to utilize those Indian rupees in buying from India. So it's a two-way trade. We buy oil from them, we give them the money, Indian rupees. And where will they use this Indian rupees? They are again going to buy back from us. Whether they need medicines, they need garments, they need food. So they are going to help us. So this situation also has some positive. Of course, there is an issue of increased crude oil prices, but that we have to go through that pain. You can't escape it. Just to inform you about EEPC, briefly I'll cover. We were established in 1955 by Ministry of Commerce. The purpose was to promote exports of engineering goods and services from India. When we started, we had only 40 members, and an engineering export was going to 10 million, to the tune of $10 million. And I think the number of countries were only 25 in 1955. Today, we have crossed $110 billion of exports on 15th of March. And we are practically going to every part of the world except two places, Greenland and Antarctica. Except these two places, we are exporting everywhere. Engineering goods are reaching everywhere. We are 13,000 members now. And our membership is, MSME constitutes about 60% of our total membership. So most of our efforts are towards micro, small and medium enterprises. What are the services that we offer to our members? We act as an advisory body to Government of India. We make presentations before every budget, every foreign trade policy to the government. What are the wish list of the exporters? And we try and see, we don't claim much high, but I think 4 out of 8 or 4 out of 9 suggestions that we give are considered by the government. That's our success rate. So whatever suggestions, whatever problems that you have, you must write to EEPC. We evaluate and analyze and then put it to the right platform with the government officials, and they make policy changes. We issue online registration cum membership certificate. We have certificate of origin. Everything is online. We just charge ₹100. Within 30 minutes of you uploading your documents, it is on your, you can take the facts out sitting in your home and offices. We do strong licensing with DGFT, ECGC. Just yesterday, we had a group of 4 commissioners in Bombay on GST audit, because audits are going to start. And really, it's going to be a very painful area when those audit inspectors are going to disallow you various expenditure for ITC, for claiming, input tax credit. So we thought we should organize such programs so that our members, they become aware. We prepare market survey reports, various markets all over the globe, circulation of tenders and inquiries for our members. We help you get in visa, passport recommendations. We attend to overseas complaints. We do thought-provoking seminars, training sessions. Even today, my 15-day export development program online is going on. This is our last online program. Then we want to start physical. We have done around 15 online 15-day export development programs. where the speakers are not professors, they're actually people like you who are working in the industry. So you get a hands-on experience sharing sessions in this in these programs. So we also have importers data with us. That's very important. That's why that point is highlighted. Custom duty for various countries you want to know, our website provides everything. Our website is eepcindia.org. I request everybody to please make it a homepage because it has everything that an engineering exporter wants. It has metal prices, it has foreign exchange rates, it has container tracking report, and it has 40,000 hits per day. So, and you know, the country reports, when to travel, what are the exhibitions happening, what are the products of future, everything is mentioned in this. You can also look for a list of buyers if you're our member. As I mentioned, we are now RCMC. This certificate is required to claim DGFT incentives. It's now online. Within 30 minutes of uploading your all documents, you can actually get access to this. No need to visit any office. You have to pay online. There's no issue. We have sort of a call center being made in our Bombay office or all other offices who can just do the hand holding and help you. And once you become a member, there are a lot of benefits which I'll discuss. There's a GST benefit for merchant exporter. There are FTP benefits you can enjoy. There is a bank guarantee exemption which you can offer to the customs in case of advanced authorization DFIA. So you don't need to submit any bank guarantee if you take an export performance certificate from us. You can obtain certificate of origins, trade promotion, activities that we do under MAI schemes. That also we subsidize your participation. I'll cover that. Testing. Now, testing, a lot of testing charges are required to be paid by the engineering products because they need to register their products in those foreign countries. It costs around 40-50 lakhs. We reimburse up to 2 crores or actual cost, whichever is less. So all these things I'll just cover. We have a technology center and which can help you scout new technologies suiting to your product. E-certificate of origin, it's again a non-preferential certificate of origin. Everything is online. These are the websites. It's very smooth and no human interaction unless there is a problem on uploading or if you have not attached any document, then my people call you. And within, I think, 15-20 minutes, you can have certificate of origin. We have also, this is very unique, one thing we have also introduced a wallet system in this, where you can deposit. See, certificate of origin takes what? 100 rupees plus 18% GST. So every time you have to swipe your card for 118. So what we did was we created a wallet system. In a wallet, you say deposit 5,000 rupees or 10,000 depending upon your shipments, and it will keep on automatically deducted. So this system is nowhere in India except EEPC website. So this is a new system that we adopted, I think, 1 year back. What do we do for our members? We do capacity building programs like we are doing now these days, including this one. We disseminate information among members to keep them updated. We have design interventions. If you seek any design intervention from our technical experts, we can help you in understanding you, making you understand how your product can look better in design so that it becomes more attractive for exports. Accreditations and certifications, intellectual property rights, all these programs that we conduct, program on Industry 4.0, technology interventions, focus market programs like doing business with Latin America, doing business with CIS countries. So we have country reports made, we organize programs, we call council generals of 5-6 countries, have one-to-one interaction with our members. We field delegations abroad, depending upon the feedback received from our members, do exhibitions. What do we do to promote exports? Friends, we do engineering exhibitions, and we only participate in hardcore engineering exhibitions. We don't go to general exhibitions because it's not fair. You're sitting with the pharmaceutical machinery and next door, you have a garment seller or a rice seller or a Ayurveda seller sitting in a stall. So that will not give you the focus. So if you are doing pharmaceutical machinery, we do only pharma shows. We take delegations and we participate there. We also exhibit, if there is no pharma exhibition happening in a country, because not everywhere pharma exhibitions happen, pharma machinery exhibition, then we organize a general exhibition. But that general exhibition only belongs to anything which is metal. So EPC covers anything right from pin manufacturer to the aircraft manufacturing. All the products which has 60% and above metal content covers under Engineering Export Promotion Council. So we organize general engineering exhibitions where, say for example, places like Colombia, Peru, Tanzania, we are planning in September. So there we don't have pharma exhibitions happening. So there we take all spectrum of various range of engineering products only and exhibit and try and see. We invite buyers and get to meet you there. Those of you who cannot, travel, we do catalog shows. We take your catalogs, whatever inquiries generated, we come back and give it to you, all those inquiries. Buyer seller meets both in India and abroad. We conduct product specific conferences, market specific seminars, all these things, market surveys that we carry out. What are the promotional initiatives that we have done? Basically, the purpose is to promote brand India. All of you must have understood that during COVID, none of us traveled, but still the orders came to India. What could be the reason? Because one reason is that the world was looking at China +1 strategy. So China +1 means they are looking for alternate. Second is, even if Indian exhibitors, Indian manufacturers are not traveling for business was coming already. So you must have seen yesterday, Prime Minister also tweeted that Indian exports are close to $400 billion now overall, and engineering is already crossed 110 billion on 15th of March. Highest ever exports registered during COVID. Imagine, without traveling, India is getting orders, which means brand India is gaining momentum abroad. Brand India is a respectable brand and people like to buy from India. So that's the purpose. And this is the time for our Indian manufacturers to encash it. Engineering sector, friends, is this thing visible? No, it's fine. Malhotra, is it visible?
My suggestion is आप इसको ना full screen कर लो और आपकी screen अब पहली बार move हुई है इतनी देर से, तो I hope आप बाकी
पहली बार move हुई?
हाँ.
You have not seen all this?
No, we have not seen any other slide.
Oh my God, should have told me.
I was thinking कि आप जो है वो supply chain के ऊपर बात करोगे बाद में, पहले आप EPC के बारे में otherwise बता रहे हैं.
नहीं, even this everything has to be.
Okay.
Somebody
so my request is, एक तो उसको full screen कर लो आप, या तो PPT mode जो है ना नीचे से,
एक मिनट,
जो आपका 91% के बगल में दिख रहा है, सबसे नीचे राइट साइड में.
नहीं, I am full screen right now.
नहीं, फुल स्क्रीन नहीं, आपका लेफ्ट के अंदर सारी स्लाइड्स हमको भी नजर आ रही हैं आपकी.
अभी भी
10, 11, 12, 13 सब नजर आ रही हैं हमें. हाँ, नहीं अभी भी नहीं.
अभी हुआ?
नहीं, आप ये आपके राइट साइड के अंदर देखिए, नीचे सबसे नीचे जो
मालूम है 91% के बगल में. I am clicking that only. Let me call my person.
ये एक्चुअली जो है नीचे जा ही नहीं रहा था, हमको लग रहा था कि आप पहले EPC के बारे में
नहीं, I'm running. I have run through at least 12 slides. Now is it okay? I know that, but
अभी पूरा फुल स्क्रीन नहीं है, बट अभी मूव कर रही है.
Rajat ji, I am Harish Panchal. I think we can at least go ahead. We can start.
हाँ, आप चलते रहिए.
Now is it okay? No.
हो गया. Yeah, now it's done, Rajat ji.
हालांकि अभी भी फुल स्क्रीन नहीं है ये.
Yeah, full screen.
But anyway, चलिए आप आगे चलिए.
But I think visibility is there. 80-90% visibility is there.
Now is it okay? Now? No.
बेटर है, फुल स्क्रीन नहीं है अभी भी, बट फिर भी बेटर है.
Surprise! Why it is not full screen? हाँ? बोलिए.
या तो व्यू में जाकर के सबसे ऊपर व्यू में जाकर के भी कर सकते हो। एनीवे कोई बात नहीं, आप चलिए आगे चलिए।
So anyway, is it now moving? Everything is moving. Please tell me if it is not moving because I am shifting my slides very fast.
अभी मूव कर रहा है। आप पहली स्लाइड से फटाफट मूव करके 10th या 11th पे पहुंच जाइए ना, जिससे you can see। हाँ।
So this is about EPC, how our growth journey from 40 odd members to 13,000 members, which makes us bigger than FICCI and CII in terms of direct membership.
Right.
Services that we are offering, basically we are an interface body between government and the exporters. Whatever your problems, we put it at the right platform. We are the advisory body to Government of India. Before every budget and revenue meetings, the budget meeting or the foreign trade policy meeting, we are invited to make a presentation like this, tell them the wish list of the exporters, and also tell them which are the markets that we need to tap. If you get a suggestion from pharma industry, we will specifically make those suggestions to the government. We do circulate tenders and international inquiries that we receive to our members. We prepare market survey reports, country reports for our members to understand the dynamics of various markets. We conduct open house training programs, the product specific programs, market specific programs for our members. Is the slide moved now? I've clicked it. E-registration cum membership certificate we are issuing for our members. This certificate is required to claim benefits under DGFT, whether it is advanced authorization or DFIA or EPCG. People who take this RCMC, they are also eligible to claim benefits under MAI scheme, where when you travel in an exhibition through EEPC, you get your airfare reimbursed. I'll come to that slide and I'll explain. Technology centers, we have 2 technology centers, one in Bangalore, one in Calcutta, where we try and see how your products can be improved technologically, how you can move up the value chain up and try and export a better product instead of just an intermediate or a raw material. So our technical team is available who can guide you. E-certificate of origin. I hope now the slides are moving. Somebody should say yes.
Yes, Dr. Saab, it is moving. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, go ahead. Please go ahead.
So e-certificate of origin we conduct. We have this certificate of origin facility. We introduced this during COVID, where everything was closed. Our exporters used this facility maximum, and we had a maximum increase in our members taking certificate of origin. You upload your documents, bill of lading, invoice, shipping bill. Within 30 minutes, you can download your certificate of origin. And we just charge 100 rupees on this. Hand-holding members, we do capacity building programs like we are doing today. Technology interventions, we help our members in designing the products. We conduct programs on Industry 4.0, intellectual property rights. We also disseminate various technological information that is coming to EEPC all across the globe to the members so that they can link their product with the quality. We conduct quality and green awards also. We have an awards function happening. 5 awards happen every year, 1 each for each region, North, South, East, West, and 1 national award. Our next national award is on 13th April and another 20 days, where Mr. Piyush Goyal is the chief guest. It's going to happen in Delhi. What do we do to promote exports? We do exhibitions, both in India and abroad. We do sourcing meets where we invite overseas buyers in India, about 600 of them, roughly 150 or 120 buyers from each continent, to an exhibition in India, and we make sure that they meet our exhibitors, our Indian members. We conduct B2B meetings, both in India and abroad, catalog shows, market surveys. We are very busy here when you have 36 events in a year to execute. Even Shuklaji is sitting in Nepal, so we have, I think, 76 companies gone to Nepal. Prior to that, one officer from Delhi has come back from Middle East Electricity Show. Before that, we participated in Automechanica Dubai and MacTech exhibition in Egypt. So we keep running for building brand India abroad, and we are very thankful to our members that they support our events. in a big way. Major export promotion initiatives that we have. As I told you already, BISLA meets with focused business delegations, trade delegations, both in India and abroad. Brand India engineering campaign that we are doing. We also conduct vendor development program with leading public sector enterprises. So they are under obligation under public procurement policy. I hope you are aware that all PSUs must procure their 25% of requirement for small and medium enterprises. So we bring them out from their air conditioned offices, and all the general manager purchases. They come out, whether it is Indian Army, Navy, Indian Air Force, Indian Railways, Steel Authority of India Limited, NTPC, all these companies, head of the purchase department, they are on a particular platform. We bring them and we get you to meet our members. They get them to meet our members, exchange cards and do business. And engineering sector, just to brief you, could be categorized into heavy engineering and light engineering. Heavy engineering, transport, capital, and other machineries. Low engineering is low tech items like castings, forgings, fasteners. Engineering sector, it constitutes about 3% of India's GDP. And this figure of 25% of India's exports has gone up to 27% of India's exports now during COVID. 35 to 40% of exports are coming from micro, small, and medium enterprises. As I mentioned, government last year set a target of $400 billion for the entire country for exports. Out of that, highest was given to India, to the engineering sector, about $107 billion. And I'm happy to inform you that by 15th of March, we had the figures that we've already crossed 107, rather we have crossed $110 billion. And ministry is very happy with this. Our engineering, I'm aware that our engineering units are booked for next 4 to 6 months with export orders, despite the problem of high raw material prices, despite the problem of you're not getting containers, freights have gone up. So these are the issues which are there in the world, but it is not hampering India at all in exports. As I mentioned, Indian engineering exports 2021 figures was $73 billion. Mind it, this figure in 1955 was only $10 billion. Today it is $110 billion. In 21-22 by 15th of March. By 31st March, we expect it to be around anything between $115 to $120 billion. And exports have been rising. This is very important slide. If you can see, this shows you the region-wise exports of engineering exports of India in 21-22. Figures are up to January, of course. If you see European Union, North America, and Middle East, total, if you see 47% of our engineering goods go to these countries. Now, these are developed countries, which means our goods are acceptable in developed market. In engineering, our engineers are good. Our understanding of designing is good. So in engineering, India is not the third world country, it is the first world country. But unfortunate part is that this ratio of 47% is stagnant, and we are really not targeting other markets, the markets of Latin America, where only 5% of our material go to Latin America. CIS countries only 1%. Sub-Saharan region, we have such a huge, India diaspora living in Africa, only 8%. Similarly, West Africa, Ghana region, West Africa, North Africa, 11%. South Asia, we don't look at our neighbors at all. We don't know what is happening in Bangladesh. Of course, pharmaceutical, big exports in Bangladesh. But other engineering sector, they don't look at South Asia and as a market. So we need to move away from our traditional market. Not that we do not export to these places, but we should diversify and enter new markets. How do we enter markets? I'll come to you. I'll come to in my presentation, subsequent presentation. How do we target entering new and virgin markets, and how EEPC can help your members understand this game. of hunting new market and hunting new buyers. ASEAN, pathetic performance, 11%. Northeast Asia, 11% again. Now we can't always blame China for this. China is there all everywhere. Wherever you go, China, you will find Chinese. So if they can enhance their business, why not us? Is the question. Now these are top engineering export destinations: USA, China, UAE, Italy, Germany, Nepal, Turkey. Now these are the list of about 25 odd countries where the exports to the tune of 75% of India's exports go to these 25 countries. And rest 80 countries, not 80, 25 means 180 countries. India has very minuscule exports. Now look at Nepal. It is already at number 6, Bangladesh number 9 or 10. And the issue is that these countries are hungry for Indian machinery, Indian capital goods. Now, if we can, handle these countries, they don't need to, they prefer our products because after sales service is, quite good from India. It's not very far. If they get any machine from Europe, it's very difficult to get after sales service, number one, plus it is very expensive. So if we can increase our exports to neighboring country, that would be good. And if we can continue to cater to our traditional markets of developed countries, that would be fine. So India's engineering exports to European countries like Germany, Italy, France, UK, they have all recorded a very positive monthly growth recently, and we are very happy about it, despite COVID. An export analysis of pharmaceutical machinery, I think the total combined value of export is around $10 million US. It goes to around 121 countries. And India's top 5 trading partners who import pharmaceutical machinery from Indian exporters are these: USA, Bangladesh, Germany, Nigeria, Russian Federation. I'm very happy we are exporting to Russian Federation. USA, of course. So we have a mix of developed and the underdeveloped countries where our pharma machinery is going. But these figures need to go up because the total figure is only $3.5 million, and which is 36.64% of total exports of pharmaceutical machinery. These are, of course, I try to find out year-wise exports. During COVID in 2020, you can see there is a steep fall from $15 million US to $9.58 million. Now, what do we need to do from here? There are 2-3 steps, or rather 3 points that I wanted to highlight. One is to find new markets for your existing product lines. So whatever products you are manufacturing, you must manufacture, and in order to sustain the current production levels, you must try and find out new markets. Second is to become part of the global value chain. Third is recalibrating supply chain for Indian manufacturing. This is very important. Now question is, if I can, show these 3 points on the slide, the next question comes: how is EEPC going to help to find new markets, to become part of the global value chain, and to find out which are the products where the supply chain has disrupted? So in each of these steps, EEPC has done its own study, and we have categorized, if you can see the slide, say if you can see, and let me see if, see, these are the products that we have identified up to 6-digit HS code. And we have analyzed the India's exports of these particular products in 2021, of course. Say, for example, if you see electrical machinery and equipment, 850440 static converters. The total exports of these 5-6 HS codes in this is $8.1 million. We have identified that it is right now getting focused in, like Indian exporters are exporting to USA, Germany, China, UAE, and UK. But from our study and the market analysis, we have found that there are other markets which need to be focused by our Indian exporters, which is Japan, Mexico, Canada, France, and Korea. So likewise, we have done it for all product sectors. Aluminium we have done for motor vehicles and cars. Motor cars, vehicles, say for example, they are going to Mexico, USA, Saudi Arabia, South Africa, and UAE. But they are certainly not going in large quantities to Canada, Germany, France, Italy, Australia, and Spain. When we did an exhibition in Colombia, I would like to happily inform that on the streets of Bogota, capital of Colombia, we whatever Hyundai cars you see on the road, they're all made in Chennai. All of them, they are shipped from Chennai. Very proud moment. And even the taxi driver tells us, sir, the car in which you are sitting has come from India. So similarly, all the bikes, we have beaten Chinese bikes. Indian bikes are considered much better. We are everywhere. Pakistan wants our bikes. Latin America wants our bikes. Africa wants our bikes. We also have beaten Chinese in tire manufacturing. So I think 7-8 years back, when there was a big ship load of tires coming, all the Indian manufacturers of tires were really worried. What will happen? They approached the government, put some duty and things like that, because China was dumping it here. But now situation has reversed. Indian tires are much better. Chinese companies, because of anti-dumping duties on their products, are shifting to India to manufacture in places like Maharashtra, Gurgaon, Gujarat, to get made in India tag, because made in China tag doesn't enjoy that much of respect, and it attracts anti-dumping duties. Say auto components, we have analyzed where it is going and where it should go. Auto components also, I would like to highlight, India is feels very proud when it says we are one of the largest manufacturers of auto components. But if you sit in the car and anything you see on the dashboard, those lights, electronics, nothing is made in India. Everything is getting imported either from Germany or Italy. So can our Indian entrepreneurs get into the manufacturing, especially when the PLI scheme has been introduced by the government in the electronic sector, precisely for this reason? And PLI scheme, of course, has made us number 12 in manufacturing of mobiles to number almost 1 now. I was told by the month of February, we were number 2 in the world. By March, we will become number 1 in the world. From number 7 in auto component manufacturing, India is now number 2 in the world. Similarly, number 4 in the world. Similarly, in steel production, from 4th rank, we have come down to number 2 in the world. So all these PLI schemes are going to help. They're going to create an ecosystem for small, medium enterprises to grow business. All industrial machinery for dairy, food processing, I think it includes pharma also, I don't know. Can anybody tell me what is the HS code for pharma machinery? Any one particular pharma machinery?
8419.
842138. Okay. 84148, that's air pumps.
8419.
84099184820. We must have done about pharmaceutical machinery also, because this is the
8479 use करते हैं.
Sorry,
8479 use करते हैं ना फार्मा की ज्यादातर.
8479.
Somebody has said 8479.
Okay. So 8479, if you see the second row, 847989.
Part
847989. We have done, I think this includes machines and mechanical appliances, maybe including pharma machines. So we have done some study on this. Mexico, France, Canada, Spain, and Japan, it can go, if we can do. Now, question is how to export to these markets, how to find new markets. So we have identified the markets for you. Now, question is, what is the next step? There are 2 steps now. One is to go alone in this market, start fixing up appointments and visit. Second is to go into exhibitions through your mother councils, like for engineering, it is Engineering Export Promotion Council. For plastic, it is Plastic Export Promotion Council. So for pharma, you come with us to pharma exhibitions abroad. When you travel with us, you not only get your air ticket reimbursed, you get 50% discount on space. All those things are available for you. Because you are our member, that's the only reason. Because you have completed your 12 months of membership with us, you get eligible for these MAI grants. We also have a database of buyers with us. If you can check our team here, if you can just send me 1 or 2 countries name with your HS code and tell me that you need to know the name of the buyers, say in Spain or in Japan or in Africa. We will be able to give some data to you with telephone numbers, email IDs, and contact details of the buyers. We don't claim that we have all 207 or 204 countries in the world data, but certainly we have around 150 worth countries of data with us. So you can approach those people, meet them individually, or you can come with us through exhibitions wherever we are doing and try and see how your product can be exported. So for each IC engines, for example, 2-wheeler and 3-wheelers, medical scientific instruments. Now, medical scientific instruments, India, imports 85% of its requirement. So this 85 means we need to now become Atmanirbhar. So can some of you get into medical surgical equipments? Our Shukla ji is already there in this segment. And if more and more items could be produced in India, and when you develop these items, Government of India is there to help you with a grant. Department of Heavy Industry has 20 crores worth of grant can be given, 80% to be given by the government, 20% to be contributed by the exporters or the manufacturers. So all these things facilities are available. Copper and copper products. So this is how we have identified the products for you, markets for you rather, products and markets. The second step was how to become part of the global value chain. Some of you who are all producing cycle parts should think of producing parts for auto components, and if you're doing for car manufacturers, must aim for exporting to, say, BMW, General Motors, Hyundai. So these are the major manufacturers, Fortune 500 companies, which EEPC invites every year to have one-to-one discussion, a presentation. They come with a shopping list, show that shopping list to you on a screen and say, can you make it? Can you make these, supply these products to us? Being a registered members with these companies, you can see the names SKF, Toyota, Mercedes, Delphi, Samsung, Siemens. It's a matter of prestige if you supply to them. And we help you connecting with their purchase heads. Whoever is heading their department or number 2 in that department, we ask them to come and make a presentation in our International Engineering Sourcing Show, which happens every year. Of course, last 3 years it has not happened. We're going to have it next year. So you can have meetings, any pharma machinery, if you suggest, if your organization suggests, so bring this company's purchase head, we would like to meet them. We can invite them. We solely go by what our members suggest. Future, when I was doing my MBA in the 90s, the buzzword was export or perish. But now innovate or perish. Export is not enough now. I'll give you a very scary data. Scary data is that whatever India is exporting, only 6% of the goods, could be categorized as value add. 94% of the goods that we are sending abroad are just run-of-the-mill products. They're low in value addition, fasteners, cycle parts, or low casting items, forging items, low value added. So this figure has to go up. 96% figure is very low. Second is that India spends less than 1%. I mentioned 1% for some respect. Actually, it is 0.7% of GDP in R&D, as compared to countries like Israel, Korea, and Taiwan, about 5%. And in those countries, this 5%, 95% coming from private sector. But in India, private sector has no time or attitude to invest in R&D. On an average, friends, a company which is created today, it will vanish in 8 years if you don't change your ways of production, if you don't improve upon your efficiency or don't move up the value chain. If you don't move up the value chain, neighboring countries will eat us up. What has happened to us in garments? Bangladesh has replaced us. Tomorrow, Thailand will replace us in auto components. We were the largest exporter of tea. Kenya took us over because we refused to change. So if you don't change, sooner or later, I am telling you, entire production base of low value added items will shift to Africa countries and other South Asian countries. So Indians must move up the value chain and start producing quality items. There's one more advantage in those countries. If you are, say, producing, you have a plant in Ethiopia or any underdeveloped country, basically LDCs, least developed countries, you export to any part of the world from those countries, there is no custom duty. Europe doesn't charge any custom duty. America doesn't charge any custom duty. Japan has waived off the custom duty. Zero custom duty, so they become very cheap. So sooner or later, entire production base of low value added goods will shift to these countries. So whether you want to shift to those countries voluntarily or in a planned way is a different matter. So my suggestion is that from a production of raw material, which India used to export raw material right from in 1947 when we got independence, we have moved away to supply of intermediate goods. But there is a need further to go to final products. India is largely a component making country. I'm very happy if I'm talking to pharmaceutical machinery manufacturers. At least it is a complete set. Yours is a highly value add product. And only thing is we need to be technologically slightly better. And once we move from intermediate to final, India then will achieve its target of 5% of global trade. Coming down to global trade, friends, I would like to mention that I hope you are aware that between 1600 AD to 1800 AD, India roughly got 28,000 of tons of gold from Europe and US and rest of the world, which was actually 20% of world's production of bullion in that period. Why it came to India? Because we produced. When we produced, and what we were producing largely agriculture. But we also had some iron and steel industry that time at a very small level. That dagger, which gladiators used to fight, was actually was made in India at that time. And it was required, had a huge demand in Europe, Spain and France and all those countries. So we were so good, we had such a great past. In 1700, I would say the treasury of King Akbar was around 17.5 million pounds. And 200 years after Akbar, British economy was total 16 million pounds. So 200 years ago only, Akbar was so rich. Akbar means the India was so rich. So idea is to have innovations, productions, and then only our per capita income, the presence in the global market will go up. And we have also identified China, products which were getting imported from China before COVID. We identified 66 items whose value of import is substantially high, and they are all coming from China up to 8 digits.
Rajas sir.
Yeah.
प्लीज थोड़ा सा बहुत अच्छा सा चल रहा है लेकिन
this is my last slide.
चलो ठीक है सर.
So list of 66 items that we have produced here for all of you to understand how you can supply these items to mend the already disrupted supply chain. So this we have done it for our members. All these schemes we have already informed you. We give for your certification up to 2 crores of grant to our members, 50% sharing basis for testing. Barcoding is going to be very important. If you have exports less than 30 crores, we give an expenditure worth of 25 lakhs per exporter for getting your barcoding done. Barcoding is going to be necessary in future. Saudi Arabia has already made it mandatory. Entire world will make it mandatory. This is the slide where we participated in exhibitions. Automechanica Dubai, 4,12,500 rupees if you participate directly. If you come through EEPC, it is only 270. And besides that, we also give you air ticket and the hotel stay also. So this kind of exhibition, not only, I mean, it's one of the cheapest, even if you participate in Bombay, it will be much more expensive. So we reimburse your air tickets. Membership compulsory for 12 months is required. Some of the major events that we have done in past, including Pharma, this is Indy, our flagship event. Make in India, we launched with Prime Minister Modi in Germany in 2015. Some virtual shows we have done during COVID. So we were not sitting idle in COVID. We were doing virtual exhibitions. These are some of the events that we are planning. Nepal is already going on. GMX is for electrical mechanical machinery. In Jordan, Hanover Fair is coming up 30th May to 2nd of June. Big Five Construction, MCE, Mostra. These are only 6. So for the time being, balance when we do award function. These are the chief guests. Mr. Parikar was there, Mr. Piyush Goyal, Mr. Ms. Anandi Bahan, Suresh Prabhuji, they all have come to our award function. We give wide publicity. So if you have any queries in future, please write to EEPC. We'll help you, as I mentioned, in sharing our database of buyers. If you can give me your HS codes. Thank you very much for a very patient hearing. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Malhotra.
Thank you, sir, for your nice presentation, in-depth knowledge, but the time, keeping in view the time constraint. So we could not utilize your.
No, that's
knowledge.
fine. I think I'm satisfied.
But we have a question here, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, आप लोगों ने बताया कि बहुत सारी एग्जीबिशन में पार्टिसिपेट करते हैं. Sir, IPMA has given a representation to EEPC for Arab Pharma Manufacturing Expo to be held in first week of July. Sir, you are looking after you are taking the decision for participation in exhibitions. So you are looking after the marketing part. So all these things. So I think this
how many exhibitors you say that will come in this exhibition?
Sir, more than 10 we will. We have committed that more than 10 exhibitors we will give. It may go up to 20 also, sir.
Okay. See, for earlier before COVID, 20 is a good number now, but before COVID there was a minimum restriction of 40 companies to get the grant.
IPMA can give 20 number. If there is a restrictions, then EEPC can also.
So I suggest let IPMA delegation meet our executive director in Delhi. Let Mr. Shukla can also come along.
Okay, sir.
Right, and give a copy to me. We will recommend, and if the names can come in advance, we'll recommend. There's no problem. We go by what our members say.
Thank you, sir. Another thing is that, sir, those who are not exporting so far, so they are willing to export, but they are hesitating to become the member of EEPC. Sir, I have a nil exports, but I am a MSME. I don't want to take the membership of EEPC. So if there is any scheme by paying a small money like 1,000 rupees, and I become a member, and then
we have a scheme running. I'll check where new member can become by paying 1,000 rupees.
Yeah, by giving a small amount, maybe 1,000,
Yes.
2,000. That we will not give any. So if there is a scheme, if not there is a scheme,
there is already a scheme for becoming a member for 1,000 rupees.
There are so many members of IPA, those who are interested to become the member.
Absolutely.
Because they are not exported. If once they are participating in these type of activities, certainly there will be some flame in it, and they will be able to do the exports, and after that they will become the associate member. Or
absolutely, yes.
Thank you, sir, for your words, and there are so many questions for you, and we will take it in the open house session after the presentation of Sanjay Beswal ji. Thank you, sir. So kind of you for coming and sparing time. So kind of you, sir. Now, Sanjay Beswal ji, in आपका परिचय तो समीर सर ने दे ही दिया था. समीर सर ने इतना अच्छा इंट्रोडक्शन दिया, और मैं समीर सर के बारे में भी बता दें. जो हमारे समीर विजय सर हैं, he is also a engineer. He is MBA. He has the experience of 3 decades in the industry. He is a director of BIMCO. He's a director of IPMMI. They are into packaging institute, and he's also immediate past president of IPMMI. He is a presently managing committee member of IPMA. Keeping in view his knowledge, so he has a vast knowledge. So same. He has given your introduction. So I skip that part. Your introduction is known to everybody. Over to Sanjay Beswali for their presentation and
थैंक यू वेरी मच मल्होत्रा जी, लिमय साहब को भी बहुत थैंक यू, हरीश पंचाल जी, मेहता जी, आप सब लोगों को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद यहाँ पे मुझे इनवाइट करने के लिए। रजत जी का बहुत अच्छा प्रेजेंटेशन चल रहा था। इनफैक्ट यू नो आई वाज फीलिंग कि ये बस चलता रहे प्रॉब्ली अनदर हाफ एन आवर, जितनी डिटेल में वो बता रहे थे, जितनी अपॉर्चुनिटीज उससे क्रिएट हो रही थी, सो बड़ा अच्छा लग रहा था। सो एज फार एज द मार्केटिंग इज कंसर्न्ड, यू नो, इट वाज अ वंडरफुल प्रेजेंटेशन and I think all the members of IPMA can take the benefits out of that. So you know, उसको complement करने के लिए हम क्या करते हैं, we will talk about the benefits that you can, you know, take on your exports, and thus maybe which can help you reduce the cost and which can help you maybe price the product better. तो उसको करने के लिए एक छोटा प्रेजेंटेशन में आई विल ट्राई मल्होत्रा जी कि मैं इसको जल्दी खत्म कर दूं, जिससे क्वेश्चन आंसर्स हम ज्यादा ले पाएं। So let me share the screen. So I believe this is shared and you are able to look at it, right?
Yeah, right, Sanjay. It's visible.
Okay, so you know, we know that now the world is open, especially after, you know, China's issues. The world is open for very good business. $20 ट्रिलियन का करीब ट्रेड होता है इस साल, तो और भी काफी ज्यादा हो गया। उसमें बहुत सारे प्रॉफिटेबल ऑप्शन एवेन्यूज भी हैं और बहुत सारी अपॉर्चुनिटीज भी हैं हमारे मार्केट्स को डाइवर्सिफाई करने के लिए, हमारे प्रोडक्ट्स को भी डाइवर्सिफाई करने के लिए। तो उसके लिए क्या स्ट्रेटजीज हमारे को लेनी है टू मेक मैक्सिमम बेनिफिट्स। सो ओवरऑल वी हैव टू लर्न द ट्रिक्स ऑफ द ट्रेड, वी हैव टू मैनेज द रिस्क्स प्रॉपर्ली। इतने सारे इंस्टीट्यूशनल बेनिफिट्स, बहुत सारे तो रजत ने अभी बताए, वो हमारे को लेने हैं। और कॉस्टिंग स्ट्रेटजी को कैसे करना है कि प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी इंप्रूव हो, तो उन सबको समझने के लिए लेट अस अंडरस्टैंड टिपिकल सप्लाई चेन। इंपोर्ट एक्सपोर्ट की एक सप्लाई चेन को समझ करके we'll work out what are the benefits are there in the taxation system, in the foreign trade policy and otherwise, उनको कैसे यूटिलाइज करेंगे, that is something that we will try to summarize. तो एक टाइपिकल सप्लाई चेन अगर अपन समझने की कोशिश करें फॉर इंपोर्ट, तो अगर आपका सेलर है कोई दूसरे कंट्री के अंदर, वो आपको सामान भेजता है, आपके पोर्ट पर आता है, शिपिंग कंपनी के थ्रू पोर्ट पर उतर करके सामान जो है आपकी फैक्ट्री में आता है, या तो डायरेक्टली फैक्ट्री में आता है, या कभी कभी शिप से उतर करके गेटवे पोर्ट से वो आईसीडी पर आता है। वहां पे कस्टम्स जो है उस सामान को चेक करती है, ड्यूटीज लेती है, फिर आपके पास में सामान जो है वो फैक्ट्री में पहुंचता है। आप अपने बैंक को पेमेंट करते हो, आपकी बैंक जो है आपके बायर की कॉरेस्पॉन्डिंग बैंक को पेमेंट करती है और उसकी बैंक जो है उसको पेमेंट करती है, एंड दस द इंपोर्ट साइकिल इज कंप्लीटेड। ठीक है, और जो आप मैन्युफैक्चरर हो या फैक्ट्री वाले हो, तो आप कुछ इनपुट्स जो है अपने डोमेस्टिक से भी लेते हो, करेक्ट। अब इसी चेन को अगर हम एक्सपोर्ट के लिए देखें, तो एक्सपोर्ट के केस के अंदर भी अगेन फैक्ट्री से जो है हमारे को एक कोई बायर है, उस बायर को हमने ढूंढा, वो फिर हमने सामान जो है या तो डायरेक्टली या कोई ट्रेडर के थ्रू हम जो है सामान पोर्ट पर भेजते हैं, और पोर्ट पर जो है वो सामान लोड शिप पर होता है, शिप से बायर पर पहुंचता है, बायर पेमेंट करता है अपनी बैंक को, उसका बैंक पेमेंट करता है हमारी बैंक को, हमारी बैंक पेमेंट करती है हम। सो अगेन द एक्सपोर्ट साइकिल इज दस कंप्लीटेड। अब इन इंपोर्ट और एक्सपोर्ट साइकिल्स के अंदर अगर अपन देखें, तो देयर आर सेवरल फैक्टर्स व्हिच अफेक्टेड। जनरल फैक्टर्स क्या क्या हैं वो अपन डिस्कस करते हैं। सबसे पहला फैक्टर तो जो आता है वो रिस्क का आता है कि इंटरनेशनल ट्रेड एज कंपेयर टू द डोमेस्टिक ट्रेड के अंदर रिस्क बहुत हैं, और वो रिस्क को मैनेज कैसे करना है इज समथिंग दैट वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड। सबसे पहला कमर्शियल रिस्क, कि अगर आपने एक्सपोर्ट कर दिया, बायर को नहीं समझ में आया तो क्या करेंगे। तो वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड द इनको टर्म्स प्रॉपरली, हमारा कॉन्ट्रैक्ट प्रॉपर होना चाहिए, और बायर की ड्यू डिलिजेंस वो भी बहुत जरूरी है। कार्गो का रिस्क है कि भाई अगर जहाज ही डूब गया या जहाज में कुछ प्रॉब्लम हो गई, कोई और कैलामिटी हो गई, तो क्या करना है। तो मैरीन इंश्योरेंस इज द सॉल्यूशन फॉर दैट। करेंसी का रिस्क है, उसके लिए हेजिंग है, और कंट्री का रिस्क है कि अगर वॉर हो गया उस कंट्री में, वहां से पेमेंट ही नहीं आ पाई है, तो क्या करेंगे? उस काम के लिए ECGC प्रोवाइड्स द इंश्योरेंस फॉर योर पेमेंट। देन हम इंटरनेशनल ट्रेड करते हैं तो पेमेंट मैकेनिज्म बिकम्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। फॉर एग्जांपल, अगर हमने रशिया एक्सपोर्ट किया हुआ है और डॉलर में किया हुआ है, और अगर हमारा जो पेमेंट मैकेनिज्म है वो डॉलर के थ्रू आना है, इट हैज बिकम डिफिकल्ट फॉर द पीपल हु हैव एक्सपोर्टेड टू रशिया टू गेट देयर पेमेंट। सो पेमेंट मैकेनिज्म्स बिकम्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। जब हम एक्सपोर्ट करते हैं या इंपोर्ट करते हैं, कंट्री का लॉ भी है, फेमा का लॉ है, जो कहता है कि विद इन अ सर्टेन पीरियड ऑफ टाइम आपकी पेमेंट वापस आनी चाहिए। आपकी पेमेंट अगर नहीं आती है तो व्हाटएवर बेनिफिट्स और व्हाटएवर ड्यूटी बेनिफिट्स एक्सेट्रा यू हैव टेकन, वो खत्म हो जाते हैं। पेमेंट तो गई सो गई, उसके अलावा ये भी खत्म हो जाता है, राइट? देन वी हैव टू वॉच आउट फॉर टैरिफ बैरियर्स, कि दूसरे कंट्री के अंदर हमारा सामान जाएगा तो ड्यूटी कितनी है, या हम इंपोर्ट करेंगे तो हमारे यहाँ पे कितनी ड्यूटी है। कई बार इंपोर्ट प्राइस, मिनिमम इंपोर्ट प्राइस लगती है, कई बार दूसरे कंट्री के अंदर या हमारे कंट्री में भी एंटी डंपिंग ड्यूटी होती है, उन सब का ध्यान रखना है। और नॉन टैरिफ बैरियर्स, कि हम अगर दूसरे कंट्री में भेज रहे हैं तो क्वालिटी का कोई सर्टिफिकेशन चाहिए क्या? उस क्वालिटी सर्टिफिकेशन के लिए कई बार 50-50 लाख, 1-1 करोड़ रुपए लग जाते हैं। ऑफ कोर्स EEPC देयर टू हेल्प ओवर देयर, वी विल डिस्कस ऑन दैट। बट कई बार जो है वो एनवायरनमेंट और सोशल कंप्लायंसेस के लिए भी जो है हमारे को देखना पड़ता है कि दूसरी कंट्री के अंदर हमारा जो सामान जा रहा है उसके ऊपर एनवायरनमेंटल या सोशल कंप्लायंसेस हुए हैं कि नहीं हुए। These are the factors overall which kind of affect imports and exports. और हमारा जो इंटरनल ड्यूटी स्ट्रक्चर है, इंडिया का जो ड्यूटी स्ट्रक्चर है, आप इंपोर्ट करते हैं तो किस प्रोडक्ट पे कस्टम्स ड्यूटी कितनी है, किस प्रोडक्ट के ऊपर GST कितनी है, दैट अफेक्ट्स अवर कॉस्टिंग नॉट ओनली फॉर इंपोर्ट्स बट आल्सो फॉर एक्सपोर्ट्स। तो इन सबको मैनेज कैसे करना है, उसके लिए हमने ये एजेंडा बनाया। तो उस एजेंडा के अंदर हम लोग अपने टैक्सेशन चेन को समझेंगे, उस चेन से बेनिफिट्स कैसे निकलते हैं एक्सपोर्ट्स के लिए वो समझेंगे, FTP के बेनिफिट्स कौन से होते हैं, जो नई इंसेंटिव स्कीम है रोड टैप उसके बारे में समझेंगे, और उसके अलावा क्या क्या जनरल बेनिफिट्स हैं जो काफी कुछ रजत ने ऑलरेडी बता दिया है, उसके अलावा कुछ है अगर तो हम उसके बारे में बात करेंगे। और कुछ स्कीम्स हैं जो कि इंपोर्ट आप करते हैं या नहीं करते हैं, एक्सपोर्ट या करते हैं या नहीं करते हैं, तब भी आपको बेनिफिट होता है, बट दैट अफेक्ट्स योर एक्सपोर्ट कॉस्टिंग और इंपोर्ट कॉस्टिंग, उसके बारे में हम बात करेंगे। एंड फाइनली हाउ टू स्मार्टली यूटिलाइज ऑल ऑफ दिस to make your product better, to make the pricing better, to make your profits better, right? So अगर ये सप्लाई चेन की हमने जैसे बात की, अब इस सप्लाई चेन के अंदर अगर देखें तो इंपोर्ट करते समय जो है वी हैव टू पे द ड्यूटी एट द पोर्ट, राइट? बट एक्सपोर्ट करते समय जो है ये ड्यूटी सारी या तो एग्जम्प्ट होती हैं, या रिफंड होती हैं, या एडजस्ट होती हैं। एंड दिस कैन बी डन at the time of import of your raw material, at the time of procurement of your raw material from within the country, at the time of your export, after you have done exports, और इन सब के अलावा हमारे को कुछ incentives भी मिलते हैं। So let us explore these. उन सबको एक्सप्लोर करने के लिए let us try to understand the GST की चेन। ये GST हमारे कंट्री के अंदर जो है उसकी चेन क्या है, उसकी क्रेडिट चेन क्या है। आपकी फैक्ट्री है, आप फैक्ट्री के अंदर रॉ मटेरियल किसी से ले रहे हो, आप सामान बना करके आपका जो फाइनल कस्टमर है उसको दे रहे हैं, करेक्ट? जब आप सामान खरीदते हो तो GST लगता है, वी नो दैट। जब हम सामान बेचते हैं तो अगेन GST देना पड़ता है हमारे को। जो हम GST खरीदते समय देते हैं उसका हमको क्रेडिट मिलता है, और वो क्रेडिट जो है हम यूटिलाइज करते हैं अपने सेल के टाइम पे जो हमको GST देना होता है उसके, करेक्ट? और फाइनली जो भी GST का कंपोनेंट है वो जो फाइनल कस्टमर है उसको जो है वो देना पड़ता है, करेक्ट? नाउ सारी ड्यूटीज जो हैं वो GST चेन में क्रेडिट नहीं होती, वी आर अवेयर। अगर हमारी फैक्ट्री में इलेक्ट्रिसिटी लग रही है, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी के ऊपर कोई ड्यूटी है, वो GST चेन में क्रेडिट नहीं होती। अगर हम कोई कोल का यूज कर रहे हैं, या अगर हम कोई ऑयल का यूज कर रहे हैं, फ्यूल का यूज कर रहे हैं, हमारे यहाँ पे कैप्टिव पावर प्लांट है, तो उसके ऊपर जो भी ड्यूटीज या एक्साइज ड्यूटी लगी होगी उसका कोई क्रेडिट नहीं मिलता। फिर आप ट्रांसपोर्टेशन करते हो, या इनवर्ड ट्रांसपोर्टेशन करते हो, या आउटवर्ड ट्रांसपोर्टेशन करते हो, उस ट्रांसपोर्टेशन के ऊपर भी फ्यूल लगता है, उसका कोई क्रेडिट नहीं मिलता। तो ये सारी चीज जिनका हमारे को क्रेडिट नहीं मिलता है, वो सारी ड्यूटीज भी एक आपका कॉस्ट बढ़ा देती है प्रोडक्ट का, वो आपका कॉस्ट बन जाता है, और वो कॉस्ट जो है वो आपकी प्रोडक्ट की कॉस्ट के अंदर कहीं तो भी एम्बेड हो जाता है। These are duties, these are taxes which are not able to neutralize, and hence that increases the cost of the product. और उसको हमने यहाँ पे ये येलो कलर का जो बॉक्स है उससे डिपिक्ट किया है. Okay. Now, this was the case when we were buying the raw material from within the country. अगर हम raw material import करते हैं, तो import करते समय जो है सबसे पहले एक basic customs duty लग जाती है. That could be 7.5%, that could be 10%, that could be 20%. तो अब आपकी जो cost of import goods है वो CIF value plus basic customs duty, उसको मिलाकर के जो cost होगी that will be your basic cost. उस cost के ऊपर क्योंकि इंडिया के अंदर GST लगता है, तो आप जब import करते हो तब भी GST लगता है, करेक्ट. लेकिन इंडिया के अंदर GST का क्रेडिट मिल जाता है, तो जब हम import करते हैं तो import का GST का भी क्रेडिट मिल जाता है. लेकिन ये जो बेसिक कस्टम्स ड्यूटी है उसका कोई क्रेडिट नहीं मिलता. बेसिक कस्टम्स ड्यूटी आपकी कॉस्ट ऑफ द प्रोडक्ट बन जाती है एंड इट फीचर्स लाइक द एम्बेडेड कॉस्ट इन योर प्रोडक्ट. ओके, अब ये तो ठीक है, बट व्हाट हैपेंस अगर आपका बायर जो है विद इन द कंट्री नहीं है, नाउ योर बायर इज आउटसाइड द कंट्री, दैट इज यू आर एक्सपोर्टिंग द गुड्स. अगर आप गुड्स एक्सपोर्ट कर रहे हो तो क्योंकि बायर आपकी कंट्री में नहीं है, आप गुड्स एक्सपोर्ट कर रहे हो, आप टैक्सेस एक्सपोर्ट नहीं करते, तो आपको कोई भी टैक्सेस उस केस में देने नहीं चाहिए, करेक्ट. चाहे वो आउटपुट ड्यूटीज हो, चाहे वो इनपुट ड्यूटीज हो, आपको दोनों आउटपुट ड्यूटीज और इनपुट ड्यूटीज आपको नहीं देनी है. ओके, सो इसको कैसे अचीव करते हैं कि भाई आउटपुट के ऊपर तो आप जब एक्सपोर्ट करते हो तो ड्यूटी लगती ही नहीं है, आप एक एलयूटी के अगेंस्ट में एक्सपोर्ट कर देते हो, और इनपुट के ऊपर जो ड्यूटीज लगी हुई हैं वो ड्यूटीज आप क्रेडिट लेकर के आप डोमेस्टिक मार्केट में यूज कर लो. अगर आप पूरी तरह से डोमेस्टिक मार्केट्स के अंदर यूज नहीं कर पाते हो तो वो ड्यूटीज आपको जो है वो रिफंड भी हो सकती है. ऑल्टरनेटिवली आप अपने एक्सपोर्ट के प्रोडक्ट के ऊपर भी आप ड्यूटी पे कर सकते हो यूटिलाइजिंग योर क्रेडिट, और उसको कैश में रिफंड ले लो, दैट इज ऑल्सो पॉसिबल. लेकिन ये जो बेसिक कस्टम्स ड्यूटी का पोर्शन रह गया, तो जीएसटी वाला पोर्शन तो आपका किसी तरह से यूटिलाइज हो गया, या तो रिफंड हो गया, या क्रेडिट हो गया, या यूटिलाइज हो गया. बट ये जो बेसिक कस्टम्स ड्यूटी का पोर्शन है, आपने जब एक्सपोर्ट किया तो वो नहीं गया, उसका क्या होगा? बेसिक कस्टम्स ड्यूटी का पोर्शन आपको कस्टम से ड्यूटी ड्रॉबैक के रूप में वापस मिलेगा. तो ड्यूटी ड्रॉबैक दो तरह से होते हैं, एक ऑल इंडस्ट्री रेट और एक ब्रांड रेट. तो अगर आपका प्रोडक्ट जनरली एक्सपोर्ट होता है, उसके ऊपर अप्रोक्सीमेटली कितनी बीसीडी लगी है वो पहले से पता है, तो एक रेट डिफाइंड है, उस रेट के अंदर आपको जो है इतना परसेंटेज जो है वो ड्यूटी ड्रॉबैक मिल जाता है. बट अगर सपोज आपका प्रोडक्ट इस रेट लिस्ट में नहीं है, या आपकी जो ड्यूटी सफरिंग है वो इस रेट लिस्ट से ज्यादा है, तो आप ब्रांड रेट का इस्तेमाल कीजिए, जहां पे जो एक्चुअल ड्यूटी आपने सफर की है वो आपको वापस मिल जाएगी. तो अभी तक हमने क्या समझा कि हमारी जीएसटी हमारे को एडजस्ट हो गई, रिफंड मिल गई, हमारी कस्टम्स ड्यूटी हमको रिफंड मिल गई, एडजस्ट हो गई. लेकिन अगर हमको पता है कि एक्सपोर्ट करना ही है हमारे को, तो हम पहले ये सारी ड्यूटीज दें, फिर बाद में उसको एडजस्ट करें या उसको रिफंड करें, इतना सब क्यों करें, राइट? सो दिस क्वेश्चन का आंसर लाइज इन दी फॉरेन ट्रेड पॉलिसी. और फॉरेन ट्रेड पॉलिसी जो है वो हमको बेनिफिट्स देती है पूरी वैल्यू चेन के ऊपर. तो व्हाट इज द वैल्यू चेन? द वैल्यू चेन फॉर गुड्स इज रॉ मटेरियल. रॉ मटेरियल गया मशीनरी के ऊपर यानी कैपिटल गुड्स के ऊपर, वहां से फाइनल मटेरियल जो बना वो या तो इंटरनेशनल मार्केट्स में जाता है या डोमेस्टिकली कोई यूयू एसईजेड के थ्रू जो है फिर इंटरनेशनल मार्केट में जाता है, या किसी केसेस में नहीं भी जाता है. सिमिलरली सर्विसेज के केस के अंदर there are capital goods that are utilized to provide the services to the international market, correct? तो अब इनके बेनिफिट्स कैसे मिलते हैं, let us try to understand that. और इसका कोरिलेशन कैसे होता है जीएसटी से और कस्टम से, we'll understand that too, right? तो हमारी चेन के अंदर सबसे पहले है रॉ मटेरियल्स. अब अगर आपको रॉ मटेरियल इंपोर्ट करना है, तो rather than first paying the duty and then taking the refund through duty drawback, etc., you have the option of taking an advance authorization. वो advance authorization जब आप लेते हो तो नॉर्मली आपको अगर पूरी ड्यूटी प्लस जीएसटी देनी पड़ रही है, आपने एडवांस ऑथराइजेशन लिया है, तो यू डोंट हैव टू पे एनीथिंग। वो सारा एट द इनिशियल स्टेज इटसेल्फ वो एग्जम्प्ट हो गया, राइट। आपकी ऑब्लिगेशन क्या है कि आप उस मटेरियल को पूरा यूटिलाइज करके आप एक्सपोर्ट करो विद इन 18 मंथ्स और आप वापस जाओ एडवांस ऑथराइजेशन अथॉरिटी, दैट इज DGFT, I have exported, I have received the payment, they will close that license. Okay. Now the second stage is this raw material has to be used on the machinery. अगर आप मशीनरी इंपोर्ट करते हो और उसके ऊपर भी आप ड्यूटी देते हो तो वो ड्यूटी कॉस्ट भी कहीं ना कहीं आपकी प्रोडक्ट कॉस्टिंग में आता है। तो वो प्रोडक्ट कॉस्टिंग के अंदर जो मशीनरी के ऊपर ड्यूटी आती है उसको कैसे बचाया जाए, वो स्कीम जो है EPCG स्कीम के नाम से फॉरेन ट्रेड पॉलिसी में। उस स्कीम के अंदर अगर आप इंपोर्ट करते हो कोई मशीनरी तो rather than paying basic customs duty and GST etc., you can take the EPCG scheme and not pay any duty. आपका ऑब्लिगेशन क्या है कि जितनी आपने ड्यूटी बचाई है उस ड्यूटी का 6 times 6 years के अंदर आपको एक्सपोर्ट करना है। That's it. Usually that is very much possible if you are a serious exporter. Even if you are not a serious exporter or if you are not considering the export at this point of time, my suggestion is that you use the EPCG scheme now. क्योंकि 6 साल का टाइम है, which can be extended by another 2 years. You never know what will happen in 6 years or 8 years. And in the times that are coming, you must be globalizing. You must, integrate yourself with the global chain. और वो होगा ही होगा. So more than not possible, this is too much. There is a lot of possibility that you will export, even if you are not thinking about it right now. So if you are importing any machinery, consider the EPCG scheme. And EPCG scheme, by the way, is not liked by the other countries. It's not liked in the WTO, and hence this EPCG scheme is under chopping block. So probably next foreign trade policy आएगी उसमें ये scheme नहीं होगी. फिर there is a scheme export oriented units वाली. अब एडवांस ऑथराइजेशन EPCG दोनों को मिला करके एक तरह से ये स्कीम है कि अगर आप अपनी फैक्ट्री को एक एक्सपोर्ट ओरिएंटेड यूनिट बना देते हो तो आपके चारों तरफ एक बॉन्ड हो जाता है। उस बॉन्ड के अंदर आप फैक्ट्री के अंदर कुछ भी आप इंपोर्ट करते हो अगर, तो कोई ड्यूटी नहीं लगती है, चाहे आप मशीनरी इंपोर्ट करते हो चाहे आप रॉ मटेरियल इंपोर्ट करते हो। उसके अलावा अगर आप डोमेस्टिक से अगर आप सप्लाई लेते हो तो डोमेस्टिक के केस के अंदर जीएसटी का रिफंड जो है वो आपको मिल सकता है या आपके सप्लायर को मिल सकता है। ऑब्लिगेशन क्या है? ऑब्लिगेशन ये है कि आप एक्सपोर्ट करते हो, अपना सारा मटेरियल आप एक्सपोर्ट करते हो और आप नेट फॉरेन एक्सचेंज अर्नर हो। लेकिन आप जरूरी नहीं है कि सारा आप एक्सपोर्ट करो, आप डोमेस्टिक में भी सप्लाई कर सकते हो। बस आपको ये ध्यान रखना है कि अगर आप डोमेस्टिक में सप्लाई करते हो तो जो कस्टम्स ड्यूटी का या जीएसटी का बेनिफिट आपने लिया था वो आप वापस करना है। लेकिन अभी ये स्कीम बहुत ज्यादा पॉपुलर नहीं है क्योंकि इस पे पहले इनकम टैक्स का बेनिफिट होता था, अभी इनकम टैक्स का बेनिफिट नहीं है। And normally there are restrictions, there are some examination etc. There are officers who come to your factory sometimes, so people are not very keen on these schemes now. So another point I just wanted to mention is about the deemed exports. Now what happens is that if you are supplying to somebody who will use your raw material or your component to make some machinery and then export, maybe you are supplying to an EOU, or you are supplying to an advance authorization holder, or you are supplying to an EPCG holder. In such cases, your supplies to them can be termed as deemed exports, right? Where the final goods are necessarily being exported. और इसके अलावा कई प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं जो कि वर्ल्ड बैंक फंडेड है या जो है ADB फंडेड है या कोई जैसे वैक्सीनेशन का कोई प्रोग्राम है वो वर्ल्ड बैंक ने फंड किया है या एशियन डेवलपमेंट बैंक ने फंड किया है या कोई हॉस्पिटल का प्रोग्राम है, उस केस में अगर आप सप्लाई करते हो तो दे आर टर्म्ड एज डीम्ड एक्सपोर्ट्स। डीम्ड एक्सपोर्ट्स के अंदर आपको बेसिकली बेनिफिट्स मिलते हैं जो कि आप भी एक कोई ड्यूटी ड्रॉबैक ले सकते हो, आप एडवांस ऑथराइजेशन EPCG वगैरह ले सकते हो, आप जीएसटी रिफंड ले सकते हो। So we understood till now that somehow the duties, whether it is GST or its customs, etc., are neutralized. But what happens is customs और GST तो neutralize हो जाते हैं, लेकिन we learned that duties like electricity duty, fuel के ऊपर duty, transportation के ऊपर duty, वो सब neutralize नहीं हो. उनका कहीं ना कहीं effect जो है हमारी costing के अंदर आता ही है, right? इसके अलावा और भी बहुत सारे इनहेरेंट डिसएडवांटेजेस हैं इंडियन एक्सपोर्टर को. इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर की प्रॉब्लम है, हायर फाइनेंस कॉस्ट है, हायर लॉजिस्टिक्स कॉस्ट है. उन सबको देखते हुए जो है इट इज इम्पोर्टेंट कि एक्सपोर्ट्स को इंसेंटिव दिया जाए, और ये सब इंसेंटिव MEIS स्कीम वगैरह के अंदर दिया जा रहा है. लेकिन प्रॉब्लम इसमें ये है, जो MEIS स्कीम है वो MEIS स्कीम को भी बंद करना पड़ रहा है अभी. जो SEIS स्कीम थी वो SEIS स्कीम को भी अभी बंद करना पड़ रहा है. केवल ROSCTL जो कि टेक्सटाइल्स के लिए है वो चल रही है. TMA है जो कि एग्रीकल्चर प्रोडक्ट्स के लिए है वो चल रही है. तो इसमें इश्यूज क्या है कि ये सारी स्कीम्स जो भी इंसेंटिव स्कीम्स बनाई गई थी वो एक आर्बिट्ररी तरीके से बनाई. गवर्नमेंट ने जहां पे देखा कि भाई एम्प्लॉयमेंट ओरिएंटेशन है वहां पे स्कीम दे दी, जहां पे उनको लगा कि फंड्स की अवेलेबिलिटी कम है वहां दे दी, या जहां पे उनको लगा कि टेक्नोलॉजी डेवलपमेंट होगा वहां दे दी. कोई डायरेक्ट कोरिलेशन कॉस्ट का, टैक्सेस की कॉस्ट का नहीं था. दिस इज अगेंस्ट द प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ वर्ल्ड ट्रेड, प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ इंटरनेशनल ट्रेड लॉ, WTO. चूंकि ऐसा था, यूएस ने हमारे इंडिया के खिलाफ में केस किया और वी हैव लॉस्ट द केस, सो वी विल हैव टू रीवर्क आवर एक्सपोर्ट इंसेंटिव्स. MEIS schemes and SEIS schemes, in fact even EPCG schemes are no longer workable. EPCG अभी चल रही है कुछ टाइम, लेकिन MEIS स्कीम वगैरह बंद हो गई. तो अभी क्या करें? So as we discussed, there are some taxes that are embedded जो कि अभी खत्म नहीं हो पा रहे हैं. उनको यूज करके जिसके जो एक फैक्टर बन रहा था हमारे प्रोडक्ट की कॉस्टिंग के अंदर, उनको यूज करके एक नई स्कीम निकाली रोड टैप के नाम से. सो वो रोड टैप आपके प्रोडक्ट के अंदर कितने एम्बेडेड टैक्सेस हैं उसको एक परसेंटेज के रूप के अंदर आपको वापस देता है. So there is a rate of road tap, and that is given back to you in the form of a percentage of your export, percentage of your export value. इसके अंदर भी इश्यूज हैं. रोड टैप बहुत सारे केसेस में नहीं अवेलेबल है, बहुत सारे केसेस में बहुत छोटा है. आप एडवांस ऑथराइजेशन यूयू से एक्सपोर्ट कर रहे हो तो उसके ऊपर नहीं अवेलेबल है. बट दीज इश्यूज आर बीइंग सॉर्टेड. इनफैक्ट पहले गवर्नमेंट के पास में फंड्स की भी बहुत कमी थी. अब आई बिलीव क्योंकि फंड्स वगैरह आ गए हैं तो ये स्कीम को और बेटर किया जाएगा. So this was about the schemes under the foreign trade policy, customs, GST, etc. But इसके अलावा भी जो है बेनिफिट्स स्कीम्स हैं for export finance, for risk management, for marketing, right? So marketing के बारे में जो schemes थी that Rajat has already told, I will talk about the schemes for financing. So there is a scheme of interest equalization, a scheme for exporters. तो अगर आप एक MSME एक्सपोर्टर हैं तो आपको कम से कम 2% का इंटरेस्ट सबवेंशन, आपको इंटरेस्ट इक्वलाइजेशन आपको मिलेगा. विच मीन्स कि अगर आपका नॉर्मल एक्सपोर्ट फाइनेंस 10% पे हो रहा है तो अगर आप इसको यूटिलाइज करते हैं इस स्कीम को तो आपको वो 8% पे फाइनेंस हो जाएगा, विच इज एक्चुअली अ वेरी गुड स्कीम. अगर आपका टोटल एक्सपोर्ट लेट्स से 10 करोड़ का है जिसके लिए आपको 3 या 4 करोड़ रुपए की आपको लिमिट चाहिए होती है, आप यूटिलाइज करते हो, तो 4 करोड़ के ऊपर आपका 2% तो स्ट्रेट अवे यानी 10 लाख रुपए के करीब करीब आपका स्ट्रेट अवे बचता है, विच मीन्स समथिंग लाइक 1% ऑफ योर प्रोडक्ट कॉस्ट, राइट. और MSMEs के केस के अंदर आप जो भी मैन्युफैक्चर करते हो उसका 3% आपको इंटरेस्ट सबवेंशन मिलता है, विच मीन्स समथिंग लाइक 1.5% ऑफ योर प्रोडक्ट कॉस्ट. इट्स अ ग्रेट फाइनेंसिंग स्कीम फ्रॉम द गवर्नमेंट. Then there is a scheme of ubharte sitare. So if you are a company which has got an innovative ideas or you are a you have a technological product, a pharma machinery वाले तो देखा जाए तो सारे ही जो है उभरते सितारे हैं. आप लोगों के लिए अगर आपको चाहिए तो एक्सिम बैंक और सिडबी ने जो स्कीम निकाली उभरते सितारे, उसके अंदर they will provide you finance at a much better terms, and they can also put in equity for your equity in your company. उनकी इक्विटी आपकी कंपनी में आने से आपको स्ट्रैटेजिक एडवांटेज भी मिलता है, ना सिर्फ फाइनेंस मिलता है बट स्ट्रैटेजिक एडवांटेज भी मिलता है. और इसके अलावा वो लोग टेक्निकल असिस्टेंस भी देते हैं आपको, प्रोडक्ट अडॉप्शन के लिए, ट्रेनिंग के लिए, आपके प्रोडक्ट को अप्रूवल्स के लिए, राइट। इसके अलावा अगर आपको कोई जो मार्केटिंग के लिए भी, जैसे अगर आपको बाहर जाना होता है, ट्रैवल करना होता है, उसके लिए भी इस स्कीम के अंदर, वर्थ सितारे प्रोग्राम के अंदर बेनिफिट अवेलेबल। देन रिस्क मैनेजमेंट के लिए ECGC इज द गवर्नमेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन जो आपकी बाहर की जो पेमेंट रिस्क है उसको कवर करता है पूरी तरह से। इनफैक्ट ECGC सिर्फ आपकी पेमेंट रिस्क नहीं कवर करता है, आई वुड से दैट बिफोर एक्सपोर्टिंग यू शुड गो टू ECGC, जिससे आपके बायर की ड्यू डिलिजेंस भी हो जाती है, क्योंकि ECGC के पास में पूरा डेटा है, कौन बायर जो है वो डिफॉल्टर रहा है नहीं रहा है। तो यू शुड गो टू ECGC बिफोर एक्सपोर्टिंग योर प्रोडक्ट, राइट। देन देयर आर स्कीम्स ऑफ MDA, MAI जो रजत ऑलरेडी बता चुके हैं। MSME के लिए अलग से स्कीम्स हैं, MSME मिनिस्ट्री जो करती है उनके लिए, अगेन डोमेस्टिक फेयर्स के लिए भी, एग्जीबिशंस के लिए भी है वो स्कीम, और इंटरनेशनल फेयर्स और उसके लिए भी वो स्कीम है। इसके अलावा स्टेट गवर्नमेंट्स, अलग अलग स्टेट गवर्नमेंट्स जो हैं अपने एक्सपोर्ट प्रमोशन के लिए स्कीम चलाती हैं, जिसमें फ्रेट सब्सिडी स्कीम वगैरह होती है, राइट। तो these were the schemes which are specifically meant for exporters, but अगर आप सिर्फ एक्सपोर्टर नहीं है, अगर आप इंपोर्ट भी करते हो, तो there are certain ways in which you can get benefited. एक्सपोर्ट पर्पस के लिए अगर आप इंपोर्ट करते हो तो we've already learned advance authorization and EPC scheme, but otherwise जो है there are several end use basis exemptions or reduced import duties that are available and that are mentioned in the notification number 50/2017. बहुत सारे exemptions अब कम कर रही है गवर्नमेंट, that is another thing. Then there is a scheme of mover and project import जो मैं छोटे से में कवर कर रहा हूँ। So mover की स्कीम के अंदर अगर आप अपनी फैक्ट्री लगाते हो, you are declaring as factory as a warehouse, आप उसमें कुछ भी इंपोर्ट करते हो, चाहे मशीनरी चाहे रॉ मटेरियल, आप इंपोर्ट करके उसको मैन्युफैक्चर करो। आप जब तक डोमेस्टिक मार्केट में अपना फाइनल रॉ मटेरियल नहीं निकालोगे, फाइनल प्रोडक्ट नहीं निकालोगे, तब तक आपको वो इंपोर्ट के ऊपर ना कस्टम्स ड्यूटी देनी है, ना IGST देना है। इट्स अ ग्रेट स्कीम फॉर सेविंग योर कैश फ्लो। और अगर आप एक्सपोर्ट करते हो तो ऑफकोर्स देना ही नहीं है आपको। सो आपको ऐसी स्कीम में आने के बाद में एडवांस ऑथराइजेशन EPCG वगैरह की कोई रिक्वायरमेंट ही नहीं है, एंड इट्स अ सिंपलर स्कीम देन EOUs एटसेट्रा, राइट। प्रोजेक्ट इंपोर्ट के केस के अंदर अगर आप कोई प्रोजेक्ट नया लगा रहे हो, तो उस नए प्रोजेक्ट को लगाने के लिए आपको जो नॉर्मली 7.5 या 10% लगता है मशीनरी के ऊपर, उसकी जगह सिर्फ 5% लगेगा। बट ये स्कीम भी जो है अब धीरे धीरे खत्म कर रही है गवर्नमेंट। One important aspect of exports and imports that we need to understand is कि WTO के तो सारे मेंबर्स हैं, लेकिन WTO अलाउस कि मेंबर कंट्रीज आपस में एक दूसरे के साथ में कुछ बेटर स्कीम्स के साथ या कुछ बेटर टर्म्स के साथ में जो है एग्रीमेंट्स कर सके। उससे रीजनल ट्रेड को बेनिफिट मिलता है, उससे आपको प्रेफरेंशियल ड्यूटीज का बेनिफिट मिलता है। आप इंपोर्ट भी कर रहे हैं तब भी, आप एक्सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं आपको तब भी। और इंडिया ने जो है कई सारे जो एग्रीमेंट्स हैं ऐसे साइन कर रखे हैं। अगर इन एग्रीमेंट्स की हम स्टडी करें प्रॉपरली तो बहुत सारी अपॉर्चुनिटीज इसमें से निकल करके आती हैं। तो इंडिया ने जो है जैसे कई कंट्रीज के साथ में एप्टा, सेप्टा, अफगानिस्तान, श्रीलंका, थाईलैंड, सिंगापुर, कोरिया के साथ में, जापान के साथ में, मलेशिया के साथ में, मॉरिशस के साथ में बहुत सारे एग्रीमेंट्स किए हैं विच कैन बी यूटिलाइज्ड। और अभी लेटेस्ट जो है UAE के साथ में भी एग्रीमेंट हमारा हुआ है। तो इन सबको यूटिलाइज कैसे करना है? मेनली यूटिलाइज द गवर्नमेंट पॉलिसीज एंड स्कीम्स टू द हिल्ट। कॉस्टिंग स्ट्रेटेजी अगर आपको करनी है तो अपना कॉस्ट का रिडक्शन करना है, टैक्स का न्यूट्रलाइजेशन पूरी तरह से करना है, EPCG स्कीम, मूवर, प्रोजेक्ट एक्सपोर्ट, ये सब आपके प्रोडक्ट कॉस्ट को या आपके प्लांट की कॉस्ट को, आपके फाइनेंस की कॉस्ट को सब्सटैंशियली रिड्यूस कर सकते हैं। सो आपकी कॉस्टिंग स्ट्रेटेजी मस्ट इंक्लूड दीज स्कीम्स। देन योर प्राइसिंग स्ट्रेटेजी शुड इंक्लूड द इंसेंटिव, रोड टैप है या वो चाहे MEIS है या वो चाहे कोई और स्कीम है, वो आपको यूटिलाइज करनी है, which can again give you a leverage of 2 to 15% in your pricing strategy. मार्केट एंट्री स्ट्रैटेजी के लिए आप जो स्कीम्स एमडीए की है या एमएआई की स्कीम है या बायर सेलर मीट है या रिवर्स बायर सेलर मीट्स है, वो सारी स्कीम्स जो आपको ईईपीसी दे रहा है या आपका एमएसएमई मिनिस्ट्री दे रहा है, उसको आप यूटिलाइज करो. And one important point is leverage the foreign trade agreements that India has signed with so many countries. और अल्टीमेटली रिस्क को आपको अगर मैनेज करना है तो जो ईसीजीसी इंडिया ने बना रखा है, ईसीजीसी माइंड यू इज नॉट अ प्रॉफिट मेकिंग बॉडी, उसको कोई प्रॉफिट नहीं होता है. इट्स अ गवर्नमेंट बॉडी वर्किंग अंडर द कॉमर्स मिनिस्ट्री एंड इट्स एम इज टू रिड्यूस योर रिस्क, यूटिलाइज इट टू द हेल्थ. और सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट स्ट्रैटेजी आई वुड से IPPMA के और EEPC के मेंबर बनिए. आप वो मेंबर बनेंगे तो so many opportunities of marketing, so many opportunities of saving, so many opportunities of opening up your own horizon, वो आपको नजर आएंगे. So to conclude, there are hurdles, but there are a lot of opportunities as well, which can make a profit soar very, very high. These are my contact details. Thank you very, very much. I'm done, Malhotra.
Thank you, Sanjay ji, for your quick and crispy presentation. It was really crispy. So I have a certain question first. Then I will take the questions of the August gathering. सर आपने बताया कि जैसे इंटरेस्ट सबवेंशन स्कीम है जिसको इंटरेस्ट इक्वलाइजेशन कहते हैं. सर इफ आई एम अवेलिंग PLI, और क्या मैं दोनों इंसेंटिव ले सकता हूँ?
देखिए PLI स्कीम जो है वो मैन्युफैक्चरिंग के लिए है, इंडिया के अंदर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कर रहे हो, ठीक है. उस स्कीम के अंदर ये है कि आप एक सब्सिडी ले रहे हो अपना प्लांट लगाने के लिए. अगर आप एक लेवल अचीव करते हो मैन्युफैक्चरिंग सेल्स का तो आपको इंसेंटिव मिलता है. अगर आप एक लेवल अचीव कर रहे हो एक्सपोर्ट का तो आपको एक और इंसेंटिव मिलता है. बट अगर आप रॉ मटेरियल को इंपोर्ट कर रहे हो या रॉ मटेरियल आप खरीद रहे हो, उसके लिए आपको पैकिंग क्रेडिट चाहिए, या आपने एक्सपोर्ट कर दिया उसके बाद में आपको पोस्ट शिपमेंट एक्सपोर्ट आपको क्रेडिट चाहिए. वो PLI स्कीम नहीं देता. PLI स्कीम इज गिविंग यू द कैश सब्सिडी इन द बिगिनिंग और at the time of your achievement of something. So you can definitely take both the schemes together.
जैसे सर आप एडवांस ऑथराइजेशन के बारे में बता रहे थे, मेरे पास एक ऑर्डर है, क्या मैं उस ऑर्डर के अगेंस्ट में एडवांस लाइसेंस लूंगा कि मैंने एक बार एडवांस लाइसेंस ले लिया, मैंने ले लिया 100 kg का ले लिया, मैंने कुछ भी एक्सपोर्ट किया, किसी भी ऑर्डर में किया, वो करेगा, एडवांस करेगा, अभी आया नहीं तब भी ऑर्डर करेगा. व्हाट एक्चुअली इज दैट? थोड़ा सा इलैबोरेट चाहिए था.
तो एडवांस ऑथराइजेशन बेसिकली अभी थोड़ा सा लिबरलाइज हो गया है. You do not actually need an order to take advance authorization. You have to only declare that you will be able to export the material that you are importing duty free. आपके पास ऑर्डर एक्चुअल में नहीं भी है, अगर आप एंटिसिपेट कर रहे हो ऑर्डर को तो भी आप एडवांस ऑथराइजेशन लेकर के अपना इंपोर्ट कर लो सामान, और बाद में ऑर्डर जब आ जाएगा तब आप एक्सपोर्ट कर लेना.
So very good scheme, no obligation in the beginning. So very
obligation आपका है, within 18 months आपको एक्सपोर्ट करना है तो
18 months are too much. 18 months are too much, sir. Sir, now I request the August gathering, whosoever is the question pertaining to Beswal ji, please do write in the chat box, in a question answer box, or Sanjay ji will take it and give you the answer, sir.
बहुत सारे तो क्वेश्चंस जो चैट बॉक्स में मुझे दिखे थे वो मैंने
आंसर कर दिए थे.
मैं आंसर कर दिए थे.
नहीं, अब वो सर आपके उसके थे, लेकिन आपकी प्रेजेंटेशन से रिलेटेड आई आस्क्ड 2 क्वेश्चंस. सिमिलरली इफ एनीबॉडी हैज अ क्वेश्चन दे आर वेलकम.
एक क्वेश्चन था श्रीकांत जोशी जी का कि भी क्या ECGC RBI के साथ में कोऑर्डिनेट, आई थिंक ECGC की जगह वो EEPC बोलना चाह रहे थे. कैन EEPC कोऑर्डिनेट विद RBI फॉर अर्ली एग्जीक्यूशन ऑफ रुपी पेमेंट फॉर रशिया एक्सपोर्ट. देखो रशिया एक्सपोर्ट के लिए अभी तक कोई एग्जैक्ट पॉलिसी नहीं बनी है, बट उसके लिए EEPC को कोऑर्डिनेट करने की जरूरत नहीं है. वो तो RBI और गवर्नमेंट वो अपने आप से ही करेगी. जब हम वहां से इंपोर्ट कर रहे हैं पास में होगा, वो रुपी को कैसे उनको लौटाया जाएगा, दैट विल बी इन द फॉर्म ऑफ गुड्स ओनली. सो दैट एक्चुअली गिव्स अ लॉट ऑफ अपॉर्चुनिटी फॉर इंडियन एक्सपोर्टर्स आल्सो. So yes, Joshi ji, मैं समझ गया.
Abhi, at this moment, so there is no question. I feel.
मिनल का एक क्वेश्चन है कि
आ गया.
document process for road tap claim. My in last 6 months not seen any credit. देखिए, ये कुछ जो क्रेडिट आप कह रहे हैं ये अपने आप नहीं आ जाएगा हवा में. ये आपको आइस गेट की साइट पे जाकर के आपको अपनी कंपनी को रजिस्टर करना है. जब आप अपनी कंपनी को रजिस्टर करेंगे उसके बाद में आपको वहाँ पे शिपिंग बिल्स दिखेंगे. वो शिपिंग बिल्स को आपको सिलेक्ट करना है. जिन शिपिंग बिल्स को आपको सिलेक्ट करेंगे उन्हीं का रोड टैप आपको जो है जनरेट होगा. वो जनरेट आपको होगा एक स्क्रिप्ट के फॉर्म में, और वो इलेक्ट्रॉनिक स्क्रिप्ट है. वो स्क्रिप्ट आप किसी को भेज सकते हो. So you have to understand, Minal, कि ये अपने आप नहीं होगा. You have to do some work on ice.
Biswaji, on this I have a question. I'm Ashwin here. See, basically when it comes under auction, then we are able to get only around 80 to 85% under the road tap scheme. So that has become a little bit of a loss to us. No? That
अभी मुझे background noise आ रहा है, मुझे नहीं पता कहाँ से आ रहा है. But 80 to 85% मिलता है का क्या मतलब है?
When it goes on the export, when you take the export claim, na, so it goes under auction bidding, right? So हमें तो 80% ही कुछ आ रहा है. Normally 80-85 it keeps varying depending on the circumstances. लेकिन max to max हमें 87% मिलता है, उससे ज़्यादा नहीं मिलता है.
देखिए क्या है कि ये जितने भी स्क्रिप्ट बेस्ड इंसेंटिव स्कीम्स हैं, they are based on the fact that आपके स्क्रिप्ट some importer is buying and he is using it to pay his import duty, right? So based on the market conditions, based on the risk perception of the importer, ये अमाउंट चेंज होता रहता है. एक जमाने में 98, 99%, 97% तक मिलता था. आज के समय में there are certain factors, availability of scripts ज्यादा हैं, कुछ risk factors ज्यादा हैं, इस वजह से रेट इस समय कम है. So nothing can be done on that. आप ज्यादा से ज्यादा ये कर सकते हैं क्योंकि एक साल की स्क्रिप्ट है ये, तो आप उसको होल्ड कर सकते हो कुछ टाइम के लिए. और I believe in the next 2-3 months इसके रेट बेटर होंगे, तब अपन इसको बेच लेंगे. ठीक है. रजित का क्वेश्चन है, मेरा मर्चेंट एक्सपोर्टर है ऑर्डर फॉर $1.5 lakh बट डोंट हैव फंड्स फॉर प्रोक्योरमेंट. सो देखिए, प्रोक्योरमेंट के लिए फंड्स का तो ये है कि आपको बैंक से तो लिमिट लेनी पड़ेगी. आपके पास में बैंक आपको लिमिट दे सकता है, प्री शिपमेंट एक्सपोर्ट लिमिट दे सकता है, आपको पोस्ट शिपमेंट एक्सपोर्ट लिमिट दे सकता है, बट बैंक लिमिट आपको लेनी पड़ेगी. जस्ट बिकॉज यू हैव एन ऑर्डर यू मे नॉट गेट द फंड. हालांकि वो 1-2 करोड़ का जो है CGSL स्कीम वगैरह होती है, but whether you will be able to get it or not is a question, right? Now if you have exported in the past but you are finding it difficult to get the finance, my suggestion is that you try under the ubharte sitare program of the Exim Bank. ठीक है. Minal का है, I've already registered in iSkate, I have applied script, but so these are I think ये operational issues हैं जो आप बात कर रहे हो मिनल. इसको तो 1-to-1 जो है इसको वर्कआउट करना पड़ेगा. Maybe you can get in touch with my team and we can sort that out. Then what incentives can merchant exporters avail? तो दोनों कर सकते हो आप. एडवांस ऑथराइजेशन भी कर सकते, एडवांस ऑथराइजेशन और ड्यूटी फ्री. आई मीन प्रोबेबली यू आर सेइंग ड्यूटी ड्रॉबैक. तो मर्चेंट एक्सपोर्टर्स जो है, अगर किसी से सामान उसको बनवाना है, कोई उसके साथ में लिंक्ड मैन्युफैक्चरर है, तो आप एडवांस ऑथराइजेशन ले लो, और अगर नहीं है तो आप ड्यूटी ड्रॉबैक के स्कीम के अंदर जा सकते हो.
Ashwin sir, you have a questions regarding EEPC membership and charges. So Mr. Rajat, who is in charge of Western region, is present. You can
yes.
face to face can talk.
Humble request, Dr. Ji, Srivastava Ji,
Yes.
that when you are complaining that EPC yearly membership charges are a little bit high in comparison to FIO or any other body. So, like, is there any way that we can reduce the membership charges? As well as the second thing is the panel charges which come for every product that we manufacture. And in our industry, we are manufacturing various products. Unfortunately, the segregation has happened in such a manner that we are ending up paying in multiple panels. So here again, we are losing money. And to add to it, even our chartered accountants are charging us for the certification. So overall, if we add up all these things, the overall cost becomes too high for a yearly membership.
See, I tell you, my minimum membership is 5,500.
Okay.
and FIO charges 6,000 rupees. Then 5,500 membership plus GST that we charge, it goes up to maximum 45,000, which Tata Steel, Tata Motors pay, depending upon the export turnover. Now, in order to make the new members join, and we have reduced the charges to 1,000 rupees. But for the people who are already our member, I think we are maintaining the same levels. But soon, I think government has decided to rationalize the membership fees. They will come out with new fee structure for all of us, so that all of you don't have to pay different prices in different councils. So that is a thought going on in the government. And you must be aware that also from 1st of April, all of you will start to get your RCMCs from DGFT website. So there will be some unification happening where you don't have to go to every different councils to get one RCMC and pay different amounts. So there is some thought going on. I think it is work in progress. Regarding various panels that you talked about, this also will be addressed in coming times when the government decides. But the logic behind having a panel was that each product sector should get a focus. For example, I'm not saying anything to RCMC from FIO. FIO just writes that so-and-so member is the exporter of engineering goods and textile products. So engineering goods and textile products, my report is the custom officers just refuses to entertain. Because engineering goods, there are 20,000 engineering goods and 15,000 textile products. You have to mention HS code wise. Then those members are then again coming back to the respective councils. Kisab, give me your, now they're not, customs are not asking. This is my experience here in Bombay. So people, they go for 6,000 rupees, small charges, but they end up paying much more because you already paid 6,000 to FIO. Then you are also paying 6,000 to us. So that is one part. So ultimately it becomes more expensive. Number two is FIO is a federal body where all the councils are sort of members of FIO. But FIO, if you see their exhibitions and their focus, they are, jack of all but master of none. So what happens is their exhibitions are very generic in nature. You are a pharmaceutical machinery, they will take you to a very general exhibition where you won't get business. The buyers they'll not be focused. So if it is engineering, or even if it is plastics export council or a textile export council, they only go to specific product. Now these are the times of specific, specialization. You can't have a general, for example, the way CII does. CII has garment manufacturer, commodity trader, engineering unit, shoe manufacturer all together in their exhibition. So that doesn't help the exporters. That's what and that doesn't also give much premium when you participate in the exhibition. I can understand about differential in payment of fees, but I think this will be dealt with the government now soon. They will come out with some rationalization.
Thanks, Doctor. Just another point I wanted to ask is a lot of manufacturers like me, and there are many other exporters, the only form of benefit for us, I mean, the main way of benefiting from EEPC membership was availing the MDA scheme. In the last few years, MDA scheme has, of course, been abolished. I don't know what has happened, but we've not been able to get anything, especially in the pharma sector, machinery sector. So basically, the incentives have dropped for us drastically. And earlier we were able to do it for 3 years for one particular exhibition. So after that, you are not allowed for that particular exhibition at all. And being a niche segment, we have a very limited choice for exhibition. So now here we are in a fix.
See, yeah, I got your point. MDA scheme, the name has been scrapped. The MDA scheme has been merged with MAI scheme. The scheme still continues. There is no MDA scheme now. MAI scheme exists.
Correct.
And under this scheme, under MDA, you were never eligible for any hotel stay. Under MAI scheme, you are also eligible for hotel stay, 50% discount at least in the booth cost and the air ticket. If you're going to Europe and other places, 75,000. If you're going to Latin America and Africa, it is 1,25,000 rupees towards the air ticket. All these people, including Mr. Shukla, who have gone to Nepal, will get their ticket reimbursed. This is one. So the scheme exists. EEPC membership still remains relevant. MEIS is gone, of course. So, but still, if you want to claim old claims, you have to take our RCMC because government is now paying you the money. For advance authorization and EPCG, they're going to stay. So you need our RCMC. This is number one. There was one last question from your side regarding pharma exhibitions.
Pharma exhibition,
We are like before COVID, last 4 years we have been going to pharma exhibition in Kenya, in Tanzania. So we have been doing it, regularly. So it really depends on how active and how much you want, and also not allowing you before more than 3 participants participation in the exhibition. See, government has a limited grant.
correct.
So you go to exhibition not for the grant, you go to exhibition for the business. So once we have cracked a market for you, say 1 or 2 times, I think it is quite okay that if you go 3rd time on your own, because then we have to go to other markets also and we have limited budgets. So that's why I suggest the people should go to exhibitions, travel abroad for business and not for the grant. So because then we have other events also happening in Latin America where we need to introduce your pharma machinery. So if we keep on going to one single exhibition, we don't do justice. So that's what I want to say. Thank you.
Yeah, I get the point. Thank you. Sir.
मेरा ऑब्जर्वेशन ओवरऑल ये है कि the amount of fees that EEPC is charging, उसके अगेंस्ट में जितने सर्विस देती है, that is far outnumbers the amount of fees that they charge. अगर आप उसको यूटिलाइज करें, अगर एक बार भी आप यूटिलाइज कर लेते हैं तो शायद 5-7-10 साल की आपकी फीस निकल जाती है.
Sir, I can I just as last word I would like to say that if you on an average company is paying around 20,000 rupees to us, EEPC. With this 20,000 rupees, you can actually get back, and I'm not joking, at least 15 lakhs of rupees per annum.
Oh, that's great.
Yes. If you combine all the incentives together, there's no difference if FIO charges less or we charge more. Anyway, if you are from the engineering sector, if you need testing reimbursements, I said up to 2 crores, we reimburse. Now, FIO can't reimburse that. EPC can reimburse because you are part of the engineering. 1. Number 2, suppose your product comes under anti-dumping. Again, that scheme was there. Now government is going to introduce. We are waiting for new foreign trade policy. You have to hire lawyers abroad to fight your case. We pay up to 2 crores for your barcoding of your product. The barcoding is going to be mandatory now. I suggest all of you should go and have it voluntarily right now, because once the regulation comes, everybody is in a problem. It costs around 25-30 lakhs. We are reimbursing 25 lakhs to each member, right? So if you go through the fine details of MAI schemes, this membership of 20,000, 30,000 doesn't help, doesn't matter at all, because as Mr. Sanjay Beswal said, the benefits are enormous. Only thing is you need to utilize it. I hope Mr. Beswal has also mentioned you get road tax 2 to 3%. You get drawback 2 to 3%, makes it 4%. And then you have advance authorization. Of course, you can't take because you've taken drawback. But EPCG is another area. Then your FTA, we give tradings on free trade agreements where your buyer gets the advantage. Your product gets cheaper by 5 to 10%, whatever is the custom duty if you export through FTA. The CEPA FTA or rather the CEPA with UAE, almost all the products are now a zero duty now if you export to UAE. Similarly, I think this FTA was signed in one of the fastest time, 88 days in the world. Now we are signing with Austria. I suggest now the time has come where incentives are not going to be the focus from the government or from the exporter. Exporters are now looking for ease of doing business and use of free trade agreements. That is going to be very useful. Straight away, your products become cheaper by 10 to 15%. So all these things are there if you become our member. Since you are engineering, so I would suggest stick to engineering council. You are free to go to FIO or any other CII, FICCI. You have own ways to evaluate their benefit. but you are most welcome in EEPC. Thank you.
Sir,
Thank you. Thank you.
suppose there is a one. So there is a grant is available for barcoding. 30 lakhs is required. So there are organizations, those who are giving in piecemeal. So if you will go barcoding for this thing, or in one go, we have to go for barcoding in a.
No, मैं समझा नहीं. What is the question?
Sir, if I want to go
You
for
need
barcoding,
you need a one document which tells you how to apply for barcoding and everything. We'll give you that. We'll find out.
My question is that if I hire a consultant who will tell us how to make a barcoding, so government agencies, those who are coming, so in one go, it will be complete, or they are in the piecemeal segments, first segment, second segment, fourth segment, and then it will be finalized.
No, it is, they have stages, of course, various stages of it, but it's not very difficult. See, barcoding is just, you know what, you have it on on your boarding card, just scanning, it's for scanning purpose. Saudi Arabia has made it mandatory. You can't export to Saudi Arabia if you don't have a barcode. Similarly, all countries will have it.
So it is a very simple process.
Yes, yes. It only says
very
barcode. With the barcode, it will say it is made in India. This product is coming from Ludhiana, coming from Gujarat, and this is the name of the company. All that will be scanned through. Because I tell you, all over the world, the customs are going to be one unifying, following one unifying system now in next 5 years. So all of us have to follow that.
So can we identify any consultant who can give us consultancy how to do the barcoding, how to avail the incentive from the government?
We'll give you the details. We will have some details with us. We'll give it to your members. Yeah.
And we will do some physical seminar in Bombay and Ahmedabad, so where pharma exporters are there. So we, in consultation with the IPMMA team, we can do. So this is a very easy and a good lucrative incentive. 20 lakh is a good amount. So if they can wait,
I would suggest let us wait for this foreign trade policy.
Just after 6 months.
More clarity will come, more funds will come. Then I think we should do better.
Yeah. Thank you.
Foreign trade policy तो लगता है 6 महीने और सरक गई आगे.
देखिए वो ऐसा न्यूज आया है पेपर में, लेकिन अभी तो सरकार ये भी बोल रही फॉरेन ट्रेड पॉलिसी की जरूरत क्या है.
चल नहीं है ना कुछ भी.
So they are winning elections, they can do anything now.
वो नई पॉलिसी निकालेंगे तो EPCG निकालना पड़ेगा.
ना EPCG, I am told EPCG and advance authorization they will continue.
Advance authorization तो definitely will continue, but
EPCG we are having trouble from US. They filed a case, but still I think we will manage. Let's see.
जब तक उनका वो नहीं होती है कमेटी फॉर्म, अपीलेट कमेटी जब तक नहीं होती तब तक चलेगा.
I think question answer is over. So now it is a time to give a thanks to the all everybody, which is a tough task from the inception to implementation. There are so many people involved. We should thank everybody. So this difficult job, which is handed over to Harish Panchalji, but he's a very learned man. He's a mechanical engineer also. He has a 20-year experience of the pharmaceutical engineering products. He's into this. He's a MD of Allegro Pharma Equipment, a leading clean room equipment manufacturers. He's a managing committee member also of IPMMA. But he's very artistic. He's looking after the publication and magazines profile. So whatever is our magazine, everything is looked after by Harish ji, and he's also a first runner-up for entrepreneur Gurukul business course. So sir, here, so since we are at same table, Raja sir is also available. Harish Panchalji is available. We have a very good magazine. IPMMA has a very good magazine. So why we should not collaborate? Why should not we do some barter system? we do something about EPC in IPMA, IPMA should give in EPC. Is these type of
Presently,
arrangement?
Malhotra, presently we are not out with the, we have stopped our, as per government instructions, hard copies.
Hard copy is okay, but
Yeah,
you know,
and
soft
let me
copy.
tell you, online copies are not very effective right now. So we are waiting for that embargo to go away, then we'll start printing. We'll discuss it out. Let's see.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sir,
Yeah,
over to
so
Harish ji.
good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Harish Panchal, committee member of IPMA. So first of all, I would like to thank Mr. GP Malhotra ji. He is a person, because of him this event is possible. Because of ex-EPC, he could network with all the people, and this was a wonderful evening and the most enlightening. I feel like we have gone through each and every point. So I would just like to start thanking Mr. Samir Lime. That he had given a wonderful introduction of each and every personality today, and I wanted to learn from him how to give the introduction. So आज कहानी ऐसी हुई कि मैंने समीर जी को सुबह फोन किया. मुझे मालूम नहीं था कि वोट ऑफ थैंक्स होता क्या है. इतना मालूम था कि उसको थैंक यू बोलना है सबको. जो अभी मल्होत्रा जी ने बोला कि सबसे डिफिकल्ट काम है, तो मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है कि ये डिफिकल्ट काम नहीं है, ये सबसे सिंपल काम है, सबको थैंक यू बोलना है. तो मैंने समीर जी को फोन किया, और समीर जी, most of them know समीर जी very well, कि वो बहुत, he is a very simple person and with a very simplicity he gave me a simple answer: you have to be genuine. तो उन्होंने मेरा काम जो है बहुत आसान कर दिया कि if we be genuine then I don't have to think a lot like कैसा feedback देना है, कैसे thank you कहना है. So let me thank today. I mean, we couldn't get the opportunity to meet Mr. Rakesh Suraj, but the way Mr. Rajat ji ने टेक ओवर किया, लीडरशिप दिखा के उन्होंने पूरा प्रोग्राम को उनके कंधे पे लिया, और उन्होंने बहुत बेहतरीन तरीके से एक्सप्लेन किया. और उनके जो थोड़े टॉपिक्स है जो मैं कहना चाहूंगा, जो मुझे खुद को एक बहुत अच्छे लगे, वो था लाइक इंडियन फार्मा मशीनरी जो है मोर देन 100 कंट्रीज में एक्सपोर्ट करती है. दूसरी चीज उन्होंने बताया कि ईपीसी जो शुरू हुई थी 40 members को लेके, and today like they have reached to 13,000 members, which is a huge transformation. One more thing which रजत जी ने शेयर किया, जो था नया सिस्टम, वॉलेट सिस्टम जो उन्होंने किया, which is only available in India. So that is also a wonderful innovation which they have started. One more shocking numbers which I have come across is like 2021 में जैसे सर ने कहा कि 73 बिलियन यूएस डॉलर से लेके आज 2022 में 110 बिलियन डॉलर का एक्सपोर्ट. तो ये एक बड़ा नंबर है और एक बड़ी इंफॉर्मेशन है इंडियन एक्सपोर्टर के लिए कि कहाँ पे हम जा सकते हैं. So it's a wonderful, Rajat ji, thank you very much for your insight and a wonderful knowledge which you have shared with all the participants as well as the panelists which are available out here. संजय जी को भी थैंक यू कहना चाहूंगा इपमा के तरफ से. और संजय जी के लिए एक सेंटेंस इनाफ है कि संजय जी जो है वो एक समुंदर है. आज खेल में हम लोग ने थोड़े छींटों के साथ हम लोग ने थोड़े छींटे हमारे पे उड़े हैं, बट हमको वी नीड टू रियली गेट डेप्थ नॉलेज by directly getting in touch with Sanjay ji, because there was a huge abundance of knowledge which Sanjay ji is having, and definitely we can get good amount of knowledge from Sanjay ji. Each and every member, IPMA member, can also directly get in touch with Sanjay ji and try to get maximum knowledge, and they can also increase their exports. तो संजय जी ने जो बताया, कोई एरिया जो उन्होंने कहा जो मुझे अच्छा लगा हुआ है, दैट इज फैक्टर अफेक्टिंग इंपोर्ट एक्सपोर्ट में देयर आर मल्टीपल थिंग व्हिच इवन आई हैव नॉट कंसीडर इन माय अर्लियर एक्सपोर्ट. जो है वॉर जैसी चीज है जो आज अभी हम फेस कर रहे हैं, व्हिच इज अ करंट इशू इन स्टेनलेस स्टील प्रोक्यूरमेंट व्हिच वी प्रोक्यूर, and that Ukraine is a major player in that, where the price of stainless steel have gone high. Natural calamity भी एक चीज है जहां पे वो अफेक्ट करती है. And schemes which Sanjay ji have shared, like there is उभरते सितारे MDA जो अभी नहीं रहा, अभी MAI हुआ है, and mover करके जो स्कीम है. तो संजय जी, thank you very much for sharing and giving us the opportunity to get in touch with you and to explore further for exporting in the other countries. Thank you very much. Sir, now, like, at the end, I would like to thank all our IPMA backend people, Mr. A.K. Mehta, then Mr. Rajkumar, who had worked very hard on sending invitation to all the people for getting registration. And finally, I would like to thank Oswin ji, who has given me the opportunity. I had never got an opportunity for any such kind of, I was not confident, but Oswin ji had given me the opportunity and boost my confidence that even I can be a small part of the event. Thank you very much. Over to Mr. GP Malhotra ji. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everyone.
Yeah, Malhotra, one I wanted to say, tomorrow we have this program on packaging for exports. It's very important and very unique, and we have experts, and I would say all of you know that a good product cannot be sold with bad packaging, but a good packaging can sell a good product.
Yes.
A good product can sell a bad product. So it's very important how to do your export packaging. So it's very important. I'll send the link. Some of you can join link also. We are doing this physical program. So please circulate among your member and take the benefit. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
क्लास में सारे जो पार्टिसिपेंट्स हैं, जो अटेंडीज हैं, उनको भी धन्यवाद बहुत बहुत।
चलिए, धन्यवाद के साथ मैं सब पार्टिसिपेंट से एक कहना चाहूंगा, दोज हु आर विलिंग टू कंसल्ट बेसवाल जी ओवर वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंसिंग और टेलीफोन, they are most welcome. They can send their request to IPMMA on phone number this 9004377743. I'm writing in this chat, and Sanjay ji is Abhi is ready to extend all possible
Great.
knowledge.
Sanjay ji, thank you very much. And Sanjay ji, thank you very much for offering, first entry, like for 5 people, those who can, avail the benefit of your consultancy.
Sir, this is 5 people, but we can manage, not a problem. Sanjay ji is our man. we can request them, not a problem. But we will try to do it on a first 5 early entries. So this is basically those who will say from Sanjay Baswal to everyone. Okay, number. Sir has already given the number. So whosoever has any this policy related consultation, so they can talk to Sanjay ji. There will be no charges. So for our seminar, no charges. For consultation, no charges. I hope that in future we will try to maintain this tempo. Thank you. So kind of you, everybody, for coming and sharing their knowledge. I am really thankful to the Harish ji, Samir ji, Ashwin ji. Here I want to discuss that from the beginning, from the inception, in the available resources, Ashwin ji was associated with me for a each and every step. So he has given us his expertise so that we can able to make this program in such a format where everybody enjoyed. So the gathering here was not which we were expecting, but ज्यादा बिल्ली से भी ज्यादा चूहे नहीं मरते हैं, एक बिल्ली काफी है तो this is thing. So those who actually we can give the things to only people those who are in need, जिनको जरूरत था वो आया है, they are the actual people, those who are looking for their for the subject knowledge. We have sent every day we are sending what is exim policy, what is the benefit, how can we do. So we are making a note so that we don't want to turn any stone, we don't want to send any stone unturned. सब चीज किया, लेकिन संजय जी का एक हैबिट है, वो एक जब ऑडिटोरियम में करते हैं ना तो थोड़े से एंथू रहते हैं, 500 आदमी रहता है, हाथ उठते हैं, so he is that type of man. I have seen in PhD chamber in the auditorium there were 600 people. He alone was answering the people. He was a caller mic going to the everybody. So that was the scene. So But sir, this is a starting. We have to go a long way. So this is the baby step we have climbed. So let's hope for the best. Thank you, Sanjay ji. Thank you, Rajat ji, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so
So
much.
kind of you. So,
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mehta sir. Okay, good night.